is out, baby. Bryan and Rene didn't watch it, but I did, so I'm going to tell you all about it. Not only that, but we got What If, and also Resident Evil came out with a trailer. Bryan, hit that music. Let's talk about this stuff. From 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, in the heart of Uptown Whittier, Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 68. My name is Nick Valero.
This is Bryan.
Rene.
And welcome to the show.
You only remember it was 68 because next week is 69.
Because I literally had to fight you because I did not want to be in this seat today. I literally did not want to be in the seat because I knew that I would not be here for 69.
You were calculating. Oh, wait. No. I'm going to do 68.
I was already sitting in Bryan's seat, and I was like, oh, no, this is my seat today. This is mine.
Nick, you're entering the show. No, I'm not.
I was thinking about it. I was like, why is he trying to? I'm like, yes, it is. It's your turn. I'm thinking in my head. And then I was like,
No, Bryan, you can do an extra one. It's fine. No, it's fine. Do it.
He just wanted 69.
I really just wanted to do 69.
Should we do something special for issue 69?
I don't know.
Well, you know what? In most podcasts, they get naked and then just kind of like have a party. But whatever you guys want.
I don't know. I guess we could.
What if we do another drunk podcast?
I was going to say, we could just do it where we get a...
Look, no nakedness.
In all fairness, I'm just saying, in the last drunken podcast that you guys had, I was drinking with you guys, and you guys were a mess.
Exactly. So imagine if we drink.
No, wait. We all three of us won't be here for issue 69. I won't be here.
Well, that's why it's called an event comic. It's going to be an event issue because you're not going to be here.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. You're missing issue 69.
I didn't realize that until right now.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, no.
Me and Bryan by ourselves.
Dang, dude.
I'm just saying. Usually issue 69 goes better with two people. I'm just saying. Like, it's hard to do with.
What if we do like
2 or 3 people?
Unless
we just do like something special next week between Nick and I, and then we save issue 69.
Yeah, because usually,
I was just gonna say we could record that weekend. I just can't record Friday.
Saturday. We'll figure this out.
Okay. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Come on.
We'll do some house cleaning afterwards.
Yeah. There's.
When I say house cleaning, I mean Rene. You're off on 69. Sorry, buddy. It's just how it's gonna go.
Listen, we loved having you. We brought him in this year.
I'm finally gonna do the one thing that I've wanted to do. Have Bryan all to myself.
When did you become a production manager for this dude? Welcome back, Nick.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys miss me.
Oh, yeah, I did. I hugged you as soon as I saw you.
I know.
I did.
He literally tackled me when he came in. I was like, hey, man. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I was gone.
Before we start on our topics, I got a story for you guys.
No.
So, yes, it sucks. You're going to deal with it.
No.
I am in this seat. That means my law. I am law. That's what... Isn't that what the seat says?
Anyways, going back to the story. What are you talking about?
Point at nothing.
So, about like a week and a half ago, I finally, for the first time, realized how old I actually was.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why did you find gray hair on your balls?
No, I have gray hair on my beard right here. This little goatee. That's when I found out. And 2 little ones.
Oh really?
Yeah, I have 2 little ones.
Call me when it's somewhere else.
I don't think that's age. I think that's just pure stress.
That's true. No. Yeah. But anyways, at my other job, one of my coworkers.
That's the ulcer. That's the ulcer. The ulcer's the stress.
The ulcer's the stress.
Dude, I'm surprised I still haven't had one. Thank God. Anyways,
that you know of.
One of my coworkers at my other job, she's 19, and for whatever reason, we were talking about movies.
Right.
But she's not like a movie watcher.
Okay.
She says she watches movies, but she's like, oh yeah, she watches like the popular stuff, like the stupid like chick flicks and stuff like that. So I was just like,
how dare you? Chick flicks are awesome.
No, the modern ones.
Some chick flicks are awesome.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh no, like I'm a huge like film buff. I can recommend you some really good movies. But she started saying like, I don't watch anything like that's super old because, she's not into it and all this other stuff. I'm like, no, there's some pretty good stuff back in like the 90s and 80s.
What is her definition of old?
Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Dang.
So, so I started telling her, I'm like, oh yeah,
old.
I like one of my favorite movies. I started naming them off. I'm like, I love Kingsman. I love Scott Pilgrim. She hated Scott Pilgrim. She didn't like it. She had problems with Baby Driver, and I'm like, okay, what's the issue? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
I think it was something stupid. It was something like it wasn't filmed to her liking, or it just seemed really cheesy. And I'm like, okay, they're more of your opinions. It's not like whatever.
Why do I feel like this girl's name is Karen?
It's not even close.
Should it be?
No. No, she's really nice. We get to the part where I start naming off my like favorite movie. Mm-hmm. For some longtime listeners, you guys know that it's Alien. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh yeah, Alien's a good movie. It's not super scary because she's really into like horror and stuff, but it's scary for when it was made back in the late 80s. So then she proceeds to comment, oh, I really don't watch movies in black and white. And I looked at her and I said, what?
I hate you so much right now. The fact that you are wasting our time with this.
So I looked at her and I said,
dude, we only have 2 hours. Like, the fact that you wasted 9 of it on this. I'm disappointed in you.
Why?
I'm never going to get that 9 minutes back.
9 minutes of my life gone.
That's 9 minutes I'll never get back. No, you know what? I have no excuse for that. I could try and defend it, but I can't.
No,
you
can't.
literally. Then she proceeded to defend herself by saying, "I don't mean to say that the movie's in black and white. I just don't like old movies." And I'm like, okay, but not all movies in black and white are dumb. Like Gone with the Wind is restored in color.
Yeah, Schindler's List. If you really want to show her a black and white movie, show her that one. Really, really bring out the emotions.
Emotions? Okay. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. But yeah, when I thought about it, I'm just like, damn, I was born 93. Mm-hmm. Okay. That was 20. I was like, why is math so difficult? 28 years ago.
Right.
And it really set the bar like, okay, I'm 28. Mm-hmm. 89 was like 4 years before that. Mm-hmm. Like it's 20 plus years, almost 30 years since Alien came out.
Right.
That's insane, dude. I don't know. It just like made me think how old I actually am, even though I'm not that old.
Anyway.
Thanks,
no,
Nick. Thanks, Nick.
I'm not
you
sure.
Can't you can't get at me, bro. I already got gray hair in my hair. Like I'm. Why do you think it's slicked back all the time?
I dye it every morning.
No, I hide it in my other colored hair.
Other colored hair?
Yeah, like I still my hair's all still dark.
So if you wash your hair right now,
you'll see you'll see a poof. There's a poof of gray.
Are you lying?
No, I'm being serious.
What a liar.
Have you not noticed when I don't do my hair?
No.
I always wear a hat.
No, what? I don't think you've ever worn a hat here.
Yes, he has.
You go ahead and you die. Of course I've worn a hat.
He's worn a hat here.
Run the clip.
Dude.
Brian,
he's going to have to find
go through 67 episodes and find that one episode I wore a hat.
Oh, God.
Brian.
I'm not going to do extra work.
Editor
I'm already
Brian.
editing all this other stuff.
Listen, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Editor Brian. That's future Brian.
Okay, that's future Brian's problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we get into the other stories, just a reminder, guys, by this time, when this podcast releases, there are new videos being posted on our YouTube channel. Right. Our Halloween specials will be up. So if you have not checked it out, because you guys are audio listeners, please go to our YouTube channel, Keeping Up with the Nerds. We do have a video up there, our Halloween special. We are currently working on mini stories for Halloween. So there should be new videos coming up every so often. And then it'll all be compiled together into a movie. Thanks to Rene. Rene, you got that idea. Which will be posted on our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. So go support. We're at 72 subscribers, guys. Thank you guys for subscribing, liking, following us on every platform. We love you guys. Thank you.
One thing I did notice is that there's a lot of people that are viewing this right now that aren't subscribed. Go subscribe.
Have you actually seen that?
Yes.
Ooh.
We have a lot of people who are watching the videos and they aren't subscribed. So you click that little bell. You click it. or Brian's coming after you.
We were trying to reach 100 subs by the end of the year. We could easily do 100 subs by the end of the year.
30 people is not too bad.
Yeah.
You guys got 30 internet? Yeah, which all we
30
need is
friends to share and let them know.
yeah. You can share it to your friend, share it to your mom. Grandma loved me.
Grandma loved me.
Grandma's loved me.
Grandma loved me.
My English went out the
I know.
What you don't know is this isn't root beer, it's actual beer.
Actual beer.
I filled it with other stuff.
It is Dad's
great.
root beer. Love that.
This is definitely Dad's root beer.
What was I gonna say? No. Crap. Oh, do you guys have any other stories before we move on to the main topics?
Nick wasn't here last week, so his quick little thoughts on Venom and Squid Game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I texted you because I saw
no,
Venom
you didn't text
first.
me. You did message us. Never mind.
Yes.
About
because you even mentioned it in last week.
Yeah, I did.
Nick told me, and then you never said what I told you. You said it twice, and you were like, "Well, Nick said," and then like
I got interrupted,
and then you got interrupted by Andy, and then you went, "Oh yeah, but so what Nick said was," and then Rene interrupted you,
yeah,
and then you never mentioned it. So. I was like,
I'm used to it already.
I was like, I guess the joke I told him just doesn't go. Like, whatever joke I must have told him, like, that no one's ever gonna hear it.
So what'd you tell me?
I told you.
Anyways, Rene.
What I told you, see, because I'm a professional. So what I told you was the fact that because I said, oh yeah, Bryan, you're gonna like the movie, you're gonna freak out when you get to the end, and everything else. I didn't give you any spoiler because that's that's pretty vague. That's pretty vague.
Yeah,
sure.
I saw it because I saw it the night before you guys did.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was way better than the first one.
Yeah.
I actually didn't fall asleep in this one. First one's boring, dude. It's
the
like,
first one, yeah.
Yeah, and
it's really boring.
I think I said it. It's just it has like that extra 30 or 40 minutes of just in the beginning of just Eddie Brock's life, and then after the 40-minute mark is when he meets Venom.
Yeah, I did like the idea that Andy Serkis just kind of like tweaked some things and everything like that. Like, oh yeah, like now he works for the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
Because before it's an easy thing of just going like, oh yeah, like you ruined your life. Like you ruined your own life. It wasn't me. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I liked that. I liked the little like the fact that Venom just wants to be outside. It's like a metaphor for coming out. Like
yeah. I mean, I think the metaphor was created at the beginning, like you said, and then it just like flat out in your face. He's like, he won't let me out, but I'm finally free.
I'm finally free, and everybody loves me. And I loved it so much. Yeah. I loved it a lot. You got to see female. You get to see female Venom and everything else, and I think that I liked it. I liked it a lot. The after credit scene was sick. I guess we have a Venom now inside of the MCU, which is going to be interesting to see if he stays.
I don't think so.
I think he does, because I think that the easiest way to automatically say these characters are already established is by automatically going, everybody who's been transferred here cannot go home.
And
then the easiest way to do that is then go, okay, cool. Now that you can't go home, you have a Doc Ock. That means you have a Goblin. That means that you have Sandman. That means you have an Electro. You have all the villains already set up now.
Yeah, but movies tend to kill off their villains within one movie.
Exactly. So now you have a Sinister Six that you've already been introduced to in other movies. You already have everything else. So why do we need to reestablish them in newer movies?
That's
or
true.
Like that, and boom, we have a Sinister Six. Spider-Man has a rogues gallery with one movie. He has a full-fledged rogues gallery.
That'd be interesting for them to. I think in the last podcast I was saying that he's going to stay.
Right.
After sitting on it a little bit longer, it just kind of feels like Sony's going to pull the plug on it. Easy way out, just in case they want to do some stuff on their own.
Maybe, but
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
I don't know. I have to agree with Nick on this one.
I would want that.
Yeah.
I would want that, but again, I'm going in no expectations.
Yeah, but it's because it's so easy just to go like, cool, we have everything's already established. The people like these characters, run with them. Just run with them now, and then Marvel can do whatever they want with these characters that are already established. They already have big names that are attached to them, like Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx. These are big names.
And I think it just and my little tidbit on just No Way Home is just like it's funny how I get people in at the store. They're like, do you think they're going to have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield? And I go, listen, you think that Marvel's not going to pass up that opportunity? You're taking all these different villains in here. And they saw the success of Into the Spider-Verse. They saw that. And it's like you think that if they don't do that, like they will not do that, because if they don't, it is actually a big missed opportunity. It's a big cinematic missed opportunity.
I think Kevin Feige offered the opportunity, and it's up to their agents to say yes or no.
But I think that they did it because there's too much stuff.
There's a lot of variables.
There's a lot of variables, but the thing is that also there's too much evidence to say like because like Marvel, there's like a video of of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, like they're talking on like a scaffold and stuff like that, and they were like, no, that's fake video, like that's not real. It was spoofed. But the thing is that you have two different videos from two different angles of the same thing that's going on. And it's kind of like, I can see it like one video got leaked, but two videos of the same thing that's happening from two separate angles. Yeah. I feel like that's harder to do.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing Andrew Garfield and
Tobey Maguire in No Way Home.
In No Way Home. And also, that's the reason why it's called No Way Home.
Honestly, with that said,
there is no way home for them. Yeah. And also, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield sacrificed themselves. So that, and what was it? And
so that, that writes them off of like, okay, now we have Tom Holland again.
Now we have Tom Holland, and they sacrificed themselves in order to save New York.
So this podcast has been right, and there's proof. Because issue 67, we talked about Venom, and we saw the trailer. No, issue 48. I think it was 48.
Was it the trailer?
Or 42. It was a trailer. We predicted a reunion. Of Spider-Man coming to the or Venom coming into the MCU.
Oh yeah, but I've been right a lot. So
I know, but this is official.
I know this.
Not just you. This podcast isn't just you, Nick.
No. Because whenever you come up with a theory, it's like terribly wrong.
I just gave up.
And it's like I gave up. So wrong.
Because I gave up. I don't care anymore.
You care.
I do, but I also just don't. I don't care. If I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna keep doing a losing streak. Let's see how far I can go.
I want you to do the wackiest thing, and just so that way when it comes true, you're like, damn.
Mephisto.
That is definitely the craziest.
Wait, no, it wasn't Mephisto. What did I say?
It's issue 48.
It was issue 48?
48. We talked about the Venom trailer.
Yeah. That's why I thought about it. I'm just like, oh, yeah, I could easily make us watchers for that cover for issue 67.
So, anyway, Squid Games.
Why do you keep going with every time I talk? Anyway.
Just trying to see how long it takes for you to reach over the table.
So far,
that's okay. It's early on in the podcast.
So far, like 20 issues in, you still haven't done it.
Well, that's so tense.
Well, he's been here.
That's what happens at 68. It's always the reach. It's always the reach over. It's not the full thing. That's why.
All right. So Squid Game. Anyway,
but yeah. So Squid Game, I really liked it. It was good. What was it? Watching it in. If you liked that, you'll like Alice in Borderlands.
I saw that.
You'll like what is it called?
I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah, you'll like Battle Royale.
You'll like
Royale. Actually, there's a lot of anime that are like this and stuff like that of different games. Darwin's Game is a newer anime that you might enjoy. That is like there's a lot of different stuff that has like death games.
Why are you recommending
Dead Man
anime?
Wonderland.
This isn't.
I love that one.
Why are we recommending anime?
Because if you liked this, you're gonna like that. Like if you like these like death game type things, then yeah, you'll like it.
I'm not a weeb, so I don't care.
Dude, you are such a huge weeb, dude. I literally saw you
come out of the anime closet. Okay.
I know. Yeah. Dude, like,
I'm full of venom.
You're gonna, dude. One of these.
I'm finally admitting I like anime and everyone loves me.
I'm gonna clip that and let's just play it on a loop. Anyway. So, it's gonna be my new ringtone. Anyway, but it was really good. I liked it. I do like the twist at the very end, and then also if you go back and rewatch it, there's like so many clues to tell you that the old man is that the old man is who he is, like behind it all and everything like that.
Have you seen any of those like clips of? Okay, so there's one in particular of the tug of war game, and they all have locks, right? The old man doesn't have locks on his cuffs.
Oh. He can let go whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm. What about the honeycomb game?
No, the honeycomb game that was open. He wanted the hardest one and everything like that. And then not only that, but also in
what did he? He got the star.
Because he got the star. And then red light, green light. You'll notice that when the girl looks at him, everybody else is lit up in green. He doesn't have a light on him. He's not being sensed by the sensor.
Yeah.
but it's so fast it doesn't even like you don't even recognize it. I was like, oh dude, that's sick. Like that's really cool. Not only that, but also like what are the chances, because he even says like, oh, I didn't know you lived here. And he goes, oh no, I have a friend. And I was visiting him, and like, yeah, like, oh, what are the chances that we would meet and everything like that, because he kind of suckered him into the game.
Yeah.
And that was really sick. I like that a lot. I think it's interesting that they're kind of like, oh yeah, we're gonna go into what was it? We might make a second one. And everything else, I kind of don't want them
I
to
think
make a
we're all in
second one.
agreement that it's just not going to work out. He did say, the director was saying that if they do a sequel, he wants to focus on the Korean police, which, okay, I can kind of see how you can conceptualize that, but even still, like,
there's a lot of stuff in there.
Doesn't work.
There's a lot of stuff in Squid Games that are just kind of left on the floor, though.
The thing is, though, is that it gives me, because I'm watching season 1 of this, and then it's giving me really good like Battle Royale vibes. And if you guys haven't seen Battle Royale, it's a great Japanese movie, right?
Dude, Battle Royale is sick.
Such a good. It's the same. Good. It's almost not the same concept, but it's grabbing a bunch of high school students, putting them on an island, and they have to fight to the death, and only one is left standing.
It's a Hunger Games.
It's
a Hunger Games to get into a school.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then, because in the last issue we were talking about how South Korean films kind of.
They're always a morality tale.
They are. It's about human morality, and
it's all about like what would you choose to do.
Yeah. And
you can even tell that in the Marvel game, because the old man is pretending to be senile.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and then he goes like, that's not what you said. And he goes, that's not right. That's not right. And he goes, just like how it's not right that you've been lying to your friend, so that way you can win a death game.
Yeah.
And it's all about like what would you do in order, like the whole killing people after the second game.
Yeah.
Where they purposefully gave everybody a small amount of food. And they even say, too, we gave you guys a small amount of food so that way they'll fight. And they didn't have to fight. They didn't have to kill each other and everything like that. But it only took that one little tiny spark of, there is no penalty if I murder people before the games.
Yeah.
I can knock people out before even getting in there. And if I kill everybody, it betters my chances of survival.
Like you could, because it's a good point that you bring up, because in Red Light, Green Light, there's moments where certain characters, I think it's I'm sorry, I'm not going to pronounce their names because it's difficult, but the homeless girl, the one that ends up getting
the pickpocket.
Yes, the pickpocket girl. She ends up threatening the guy, the gangster guy.
I can just push you.
Exactly. But like there's always that tension. It's like, can I harm you during the games? Yeah. And it wasn't until after the second game when, the killing started to happen that they all of a sudden started to say, okay, no strings attached. We can do whatever we want. Because in the glass hopping game, what do? Obviously, they just start pushing each other.
Yeah, they start pushing people into the glass.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing. I mean, even the morality tale of like movies like Old Boy or anything like that. Yeah. Like that's a morality tale as well of like what do you do? Do you go for revenge or do you just kind of live your life?
Yeah.
And then also, is it worth it? The road you kind of went on. It's not completely like that, but I mean.
No, but you are right.
Like Train to Busan is almost like that.
Train to Busan is also like that with zombies. Its sequel is
the sequel was an American like cash grab.
It doesn't have that same like, and I feel like that's the reason why a lot of these like South Korean movies are super good, because it makes you kind of like puts you inside of that situation, and it makes you think, what would I do in that situation? Would I cheat? Would I throw somebody under the bus? Like when people are put to a desperate thing, where exactly do I go? Because even in like Snowpiercer, Snowpiercer is
one of Chris Evans.
Yeah, it's not direct. It's not a Korean film, but it is directed by a Korean filmmaker.
The same guy that did Parasite.
Yes. Yeah. And inside of Snowpiercer, it's very much like what exactly like the morality of like these upper class and like these first class passengers just basically using the end of the tail, the tail end of the train as like slaves.
Yeah.
And everything else, like, oh yeah, like they didn't pay to get on the train, so technically they owe us and everything else. And it's all morality tales. And I feel that the morality tales they touch you in a certain way that makes you connect to the characters, and then that's why you love the movies.
Did you say that this struck you as like a show that you would recommend? Because it's difficult at this point to recommend it because it's all over the place. I think everyone's watched it.
Yeah, I haven't met anybody that really hasn't watched it, but I would recommend it. I know that it might not be everyone's cup of tea because death games are really odd. Yeah. Where like either you're into it or you're not.
But that's the thing about this show is that because I've been seeing a lot of reviews where they say like, oh, it's a very gritty, very gory, very like unwatchable show if you're not into the intensity of these death games. But I was watching it, I'm just like the main focus was never really on the games. The intensity was more along the decisions that happened during these games. Like it was pretty bloody. There was a scene where the Indian guy runs away from his boss, and his boss's fingers get crushed in between the two rollers. Right. Mm-hmm. That was pretty bloody. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't like go like, oh my god, I can't. It was more of the intensity of like, oh, well, I don't want to watch this happen.
I'm glad you mentioned that scene because that's actually another morality tale of you reap what you sow. Mm-hmm. Because if you notice, the fingers that the boss gets crushed are the same fingers that Ali loses.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. If you notice, Ali doesn't have these two fingers. Mm-hmm. And those are the two fingers that the boss loses when it gets sucked inside the machine. So it's kind of like you reaped what you sow. Like you did this to them. You didn't pay them. You got just desserts. Like, this is exactly what you deserve.
Mm-hmm. The like tug of war game, only choose men because men can easily win you this. And then, no, the old man proved him wrong because the team comprised of the main protagonist was an old man, two women.
Like half women.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the rest of them were like just average normal men.
Next time I play tug of war, I'm doing that. I'm just like,
honestly, I thought about that. I kind of want to test that theory. I'm like, okay, where can we get a bunch of like people to come and play tug of war so we can try that out?
I don't know, but I'm gonna make a mud pit.
Are you gonna like put razor blades in the mud pit as well? So
yeah,
that was like a
because if I build it, they will come.
But did you like the series?
I did. I really enjoyed. Of course, I love this. I liked the series. I burned through it in like a day.
Yeah, it's so intimidating though because for someone that I will get into shows if they're like 30 to 40 minutes long. I saw each one was like an hour long, and I'm like, crap. There's 9 episodes. Do I really want to sit through like 9 hours of this in like a day? No, well, especially with the endings that it had. No.
Yeah, there was a couple of episodes where you were just like, I have to watch, like I have to continue, and stuff like that. But yeah, those are really really good, and everything else. I really did enjoy them. They were super awesome. Yeah, I would definitely recommend this.
Dope.
Go check it out. I mean, it's already getting all the love in the world. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, you're most likely live in South Korea.
No, even South Korea, they're not even letting him watch it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's too much internet, guys.
If you haven't seen it, then that means you probably live in South Korea.
That sucks, man. It's good because they're getting attention. Like, what's the biggest capital of movie making? Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Then Bollywood is another one that's kind of like up there.
Dude, Bollywood is bigger than Hollywood, man.
Yeah, and then now South Korea.
They make like 10 times the amount of movies we do.
Yeah. But then look at like South Korea now. Their production stuff is going up there too.
Mm-hmm. South Korea also has like some solid production.
They have the tech. They filmed all of this in digital. Which is pretty good.
It was really good. Yeah. It looked beautiful. It looked really
freaking
good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait. Can't wait for more stuff to come out from them.
I can't wait to see what exactly they do next and everything else.
With the hype that this got, I hope that the director, again, I can't pronounce names. It's just difficult, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but I hope he does get more writing gigs. Because like little stories about it where he's like, he pitched this story for 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And no one picked it up.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, that's why I think you would like Alice in Borderlands. Mm-hmm. Because Alice in Borderlands it's essentially the same thing, but it's an actual movie.
But it's produced in Japan.
It is produced in Japan.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch. It's been recommended on Netflix, so I'll probably give it a watch.
Yeah, because literally after you finish
Squid
Games, it literally goes, if you liked this, you'll like Alice in Borderlands.
Once I finish Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I'll get into it.
Yes, finish
Was the series finale for Brooklyn Nine-Nine good?
Oh no,
I'm not ready.
Oh, dude, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry so much.
The more I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the more I realize I'm just totally like Jake Peralta with his whole action movie love and stuff like that. Right. Die Hard is his favorite movie, which I know is yours. But like when he mentions his, was it the episode where he's locked in with Kevin? And he starts going with the whole Nick Cage movies.
Oh my god, dude, I love it.
And he starts recommending all these different movies until the end. He doesn't mention the Oscar one.
Yeah,
the one that won him an Oscar.
He's like, oh wait, there was one. there was a period piece. He's like, I told you the guy's got range.
that conversation is what it would remind me of a conversation I had with Andy because I finally showed her National Treasure.
Is it because you're a robot? Is that why?
Because I'm a robot?
Yeah, it's because you're a robot.
No, I freaking love Nick Cage.
Yeah, no, you're just an anger robot. That's it.
How am I a robot? I love Nick Cage. Why would that make me a robot?
No, I wasn't talking about that. Anyway, keep going.
What are you?
Keep going. What were you telling me?
Because I finally showed Andy National Treasure a couple months ago.
Right.
And she's like, that's because Nick Cage is so weird. Because he's like, I think he knows her for like Ghost Rider. What other movies was he in that she might have known her on?
Wicker Man.
I think so.
Has she seen Wicker Man?
No, she hasn't.
Oh, I've seen clips of it though. I mean, that's a.
She's not super familiar with
the
him.
bees.
What isn't he in Face Off? Face Off too.
Face
right?
Off, yeah.
Yeah.
What about The Rock?
Dwayne.
No, The Rock.
The Rock.
The movie The
movie?
Rock.
Oh, I didn't
The
forget
Rock.
about that.
With
Sean Connery.
No, she doesn't. No, you really think she does?
That's like deep cuts, like
Yeah.
action.
How is
movie.
that deep cuts?
No,
It's a 90s action film.
Yeah, but not the average person would
Yeah.
watch The Rock.
So when I told her, anyways, the
in
conversation.
the comments, you tell me who's seen The Rock. Because that
One
movie
person.
is sick.
Well,
that
bet
movie
the one
is
person.
awesome.
I know what he's talking about.
In the movie, you show me the Rock some love. Put rocks in the comments.
the movie, not the actor.
Actor,
Both.
like I just did. Anyway, so long story short, because I know we got other topics to discuss.
Put a Dwayne.
I was telling Andy, I'm like, yeah, Nick Cage has range. It's just that, people don't really know that he does. Like, he's really good. He's like, no, he's just weird. So that entire conversation, I realized it. I'm like, yeah, I'm Jake Peralta, basically.
Yeah, but Nick Cage does have range.
He does.
So good.
He's a great actor.
Have you seen the movie that he's in? It was like the 80s called The Vampire's Kiss.
Yes.
No, but I've heard of it.
Oh man, such
Dude,
a good. It's such.
There's so many Nick Cage. There's a lot of
That's like
times
prime Cage acting.
It's
if
so
anything.
funny because there's a lot of times in the 80s, in like 80s and like
Mm-hmm.
mid 90s, when you just start watching a movie and go, Nick Cage is in this?
Yeah, yeah.
What
What is he doing?
I didn't even know he was in this.
My favorite Nick Cage movie is Con Air. I like
Con Air?
because
With that
that's-
terrible southern accent?
It's that jacked up Nick Cage with the long hair. It's just
But
so
look, I'm
great.
gonna tell you right now, National Treasure is like, even though it's like,
Nah, dude.
I know there's better films, but like that movie still, like
Bro,
with Nick Cage. That was my first introduction to Nick Cage as a kid.
Face Off.
Face Off for you.
Yeah, Face Off was
Face
like
Off,
meme though.
yeah.
Dude, nothing is
face.
better than a Nick Cage doing a what's it called?
John Travolta.
John Travolta impersonation, and John Travolta,
acting
doing a
like
Nick Cage impersonation.
It's ham acting
Versus
on ham
ham-
acting.
It's so great because
Yeah.
if you actually watch the behind the scenes, Nick Cage even said, he goes, I tried to ham it up even more because I knew that John was gonna have to copy whatever I did.
Yeah.
So he was like,
So
yes.
it was so great when you see how Nick Cage acts in the beginning of the movie, and then when John Travolta's acting like him when he's disarming the bomb, takes off his jacket, and he's all like, like that. And I'm just
We should just have a Nick Cage night.
oh,
Yes,
man,
yes, absolutely. But
All right.
yeah, Nick Cage is amazing. I love him.
Nick,
What?
I want you to pick the next topic. What do we got to discuss?
What are we gonna talk about?
What do we talk about? You choose.
Okay.
You're in the chair, right? You're in the boss
I am in the chair. That's why you don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna pick it, not because you told me, because I wanted to. Because I want to. That's why. James Bond.
Okay, convince us.
All right. So here's the thing, guys. So I'm a professional. So when a new movie comes out, I went to go see it. These guys didn't. And
It's James Bond.
It's No Time to Die. How did you not go see a new James Bond movie?
Because I usually wait like about a week.
Why?
I don't know. It's just not. It's a movie. Like, it's a great movie, but it's not like something like, if it gets spoiled for me, I'm gonna be like, okay, but how was it filmed?
All right. So letting you know, I'm gonna try and convince them that No Time to Die was awesome.
Okay, let me just start off by saying, not that I don't care about James Bond films.
Don't
It's just-
preference. Don't try to fix what you said.
I'm not. I'm literally restating what I said. It's because
Yeah.
you're interrupting me.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that I have no ill intention to say that James Bond movies are bad. I just don't feel like I need to watch them week of release.
All right. Fine. Favorite James Bond movie. What is it?
Casino Royale.
Ooh, I was gonna say Quantum Solace, but then I was thinking about it again.
Did you just say Quantum of Solace?
No, it's not.
Did you? You upset Rene so much he almost
threw
said
up.
the. No, he almost said the F word.
You know what? It's 'cause he said
almost said the F word.
I
I
stopped.
literally heard him go, "What the?"
I was like, what?
No, I'm replaying these movies. Yeah, Casino Royale.
Casino
No.
Royale's my favorite. If
Wait,
anything.
hold on.
Isn't that the movie?
Craig-
Isn't that
Dude, Craig movies are like Star Trek movies. All the odd ones are good.
Yeah,
Star
so
Trek
Casino
movies.
because
Because one.
you did not realize it.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
No, because Quantum Solace was kind of like I had to go. Quantum Solace was like really awkward. It felt like it was a weird story.
But you know
Casino
what?
Royale. I love Casino Royale because it made a poker game intense. Yeah, it was like the first time watching a poker game.
It's because Quantum of Solace is about water.
Yeah,
It's literally about.
But
a
I
guy
also
trying to,
also
like,
enjoyed
hoard water.
Spectre. It wasn't like I know a lot of people hated that. And I'm like,
Dude,
it wasn't that bad.
Dude, that movie's boring. Not only that, but also,
sorry.
damn,
That was. a
I
good
know
one.
that was guttural.
that was.
But I feel like
that was,
okay,
that was earthy.
So let me. I'm just gonna say that I don't really like talking about James Bond movies because I feel like if you say something wrong, it's a crime, and people will
is.
go after you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I can't say I enjoyed Spectre because people are gonna be like, "Well, why the heck did you enjoy it?"
No,
I just
there's-
thought it was filmed like
No,
beautifully. It was filmed good.
There's two
filmed
sides.
well. Excuse
There's
me.
two sides of the James Bond community. Because
The aggressive,
yeah, of these
cut your
like,
throat kind of a
yeah,
community.
like these aggressive like. James Bond wouldn't have done this, and then also like those people that are just like, yeah, it's a dope James Bond movie. Like I really like how they like use Ian Fleming's like work and everything like that.
So
You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing with Star Wars fans or anything else. I mean, there's two parallels of just like the total, you know, psychopath, and the like I just like this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything
again,
else.
I enjoyed Spectre. Spectre's cool. I think Casino Royale. I haven't seen it in a while.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite is still GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
I
yeah.
love GoldenEye.
GoldenEye is
like
good.
GoldenEye was
Brosnan. It's Brosnan's first one.
who Sean Connery was older than that, right? Way
Sean
older.
Connery is the
Connery's
first,
one.
Way older.
1960s.
You got to remind me. I'm not super familiar with James
1970s.
Bond movies.
Sean, it's
He was in. Oh man, he's been.
How many Bonds have there been?
There's
4, right?
No, there's. I think there's no. What?
Actors.
No, there's way more. You
Really?
have-
Yeah,
Yeah, you
there's
have
some.
which because you have Connery, Lazenby, what was it? Dalton. Oh my God, what's his name?
Come on, James Bond nerd.
I know. I'm trying to get.
Oh,
into
it was the
you know,
guy. Oh man, what's his name?
Um,
He did like 2 movies before Bosman.
Roger Moore.
Mhm.
Hang on. Roger Moore did it for a while, and then it was Brosnan. And no, is there somebody I'm missing?
Yeah, Timothy Dalton. Did
I
you
already
say
said
that?
Dalton.
Oh, you said Dalton?
Yeah, I said
Okay.
Dalton. It was Brosnan and then Craig. I think there's been like 6. There's like 5 or 6.
Mhm.
It was close. Said 4.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 of them.
So
Okay, so-
but Sean Connery has been in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sean
5,
Connery was the
6,
one that acted the
7
longest,
James
no?
Bond
No,
films.
it was Roger Moore. Roger Moore has the longest tenure because I think he has like almost 10. He has a.
But you said there's 40 something James Bond movies.
Yeah, it's like Bond 40, 50 something now.
Okay, so let me ask this
I have the
because
list, so I can actually count them right here. So.
Yeah,
Count 'em real
There's
quick.
Like, I think there's like 50 movies, isn't there?
so before we jump into this, spoiler alert for those that have not seen this movie.
No Time to Die. You don't even know the name of the movie.
I don't. Again, I'm just not that interested into it. I should be.
It was a good movie,
But,
it was
you
it
know.
was a solid James Bond movie. What was
How's
it?
the car? How's the Aston Martin?
It's good. They get rid of it halfway through.
No.
26 films. There's
26
cool.
Bond 26.
26 James Bond films.
Yeah. So
You
there's a
said
lot.
40.
No,
said
no. I'm
40.
thinking of the year. I'm thinking because Bond's been around for.
Well,
almost
yeah,
50
it's been
years.
John.
It's been
James
it's
Bond.
been it's been around for almost 50 years. I'm thinking of the year.
And then like some of these, like you have like all these actors. They didn't put out a Bond like every year too. That's
No,
another
they were
thing,
like every
yeah.
4 to 5 years.
Daniel Craig has had how many?
4. No, wait.
5.
5.
Casino
yes.
Royale, Quantum Solace, Spectre, No Time to Die, and
Skyfall.
Skyfall. Thank you.
So it's 5.
Skyfall. I forgot Skyfall was one of them.
Yeah, Skyfall is pretty dope too. I like Skyfall. Skyfall is really good.
I think Skyfall was. Oh wow.
So there has been altogether 6 different Bond actors.
Who was I
Over time.
missing?
So there are Daniel Craig, Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton.
Did I not say Brosnan?
You said Pierce Brosnan, and then George
Lazenby.
Lazenby. and
Yeah, it's
that's it.
Lazenby. So I did say them all.
You said them all.
Okay, cool.
You're just thinking that. I mean, I think you're just thinking.
I don't think
there
I
was
was-
more movies than.
Yeah, I don't think I was. I wasn't counting on my fingers. So I was like-
Spoiler alert for No Time to Die. Was this a send off for Daniel Craig?
yes, it was.
And they actually they touch fact on the fact that Bond is not a person but an agent number? Like, does it
No.
hardcore say that? Because that's one of the
No.
biggest aspects of these movies
No,
is that
no,
they like that's one of the reasons why they keep changing.
They mentioned
a Bond.
no, that's not a huge thing. They never
Isn't
say
it?
that.
I thought people would. I thought that was like a huge.
It's never been a thing.
So then, how does this
never been a thing?
story continue?
So essentially, so the Craig era is its own timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Its own different timeline, separated from Brosnan, separated from Lazenby, separated from everybody. Because you have like George Lazenby. George Lazenby was only in one Bond film. That was Her Majesty's Secret Service. And the only reason being is because George Lazenby was like a model that then became James Bond, and then he was gonna be like really big, and then he became like an alcoholic, and he was like really into coke, and they were just like, yeah, we don't need that. So then they threw him aside, and that's when they got Dalton. And then Dalton went on for like, I think it was like 4 or 5 movies after that. And then Roger Moore came on. So you have all of these different movies, and it's supposed to be a solid timeline, because what happens in Lazenby's movie, because inside of Her Majesty's Secret Service, Bond actually gets married. And then Blofeld kills, and then Spectre kills his wife, and then Roger Moore then kills Blofeld later. Like there's like an entire thing of him going after him because he killed Bond's wife and everything else. And Roger Moore even like goes to go visit her grave and everything else. So it's a solid continuous timeline that keeps on going. It really does end at the Brosnan era, going into like the late 1990s, early 2000s. And then that's when you kind of get these like isolated and like, especially since like the Brosnan era is more when they start going away from Ian Fleming's like work, because they start kind of mishmashing at that point, where they'll like get like a little bit of this one, then they'll get like a little bit of this book, and then they'll put them together, and then they'll be like, cool, we have GoldenEye, we have like Die Another Day, we have all these other ones, and because Brosnan is more of like a comedic era in Bond, whereas like Craig is like that more like gritty.
Yeah, well, you could tell in the eras of like movie going in the 90s, there was just most action movies weren't taken seriously. So
they were
James Bond is no
goofy.
exception.
Yeah, it went a lot goofier, where they tried to go for that comedic factor, and that's also why like Bond for like a while just had like a lot of like really like weird gadgets and stuff like that. But like they were still solid movies.
All right, that's enough to convince me. I need to go watch No Time to Die.
But
I still need to watch Spectre. I actually
you have never seen Spectre?
Yeah.
Get mad at him.
Yeah, he's good. I'm sorry.
You jerk.
I couldn't even keep a straight face. No, but was it this movie really does a good job of closing out the Craig era.
Oh, really?
It does a really good job of closing out the Craig era. Because Craig is essentially like its own timeline, like I was saying earlier. So, because Craig is very much an origin story, which is Casino Royale, and then goes into like what Craig's been going through, and it's a solid timeline because they always keep on referring back to like Casino Royale, Quantum. They keep on referring back to these different movies, which Bond movies haven't really done.
Oh, they never reference the previous
they
films.
do. They reference things that have happened inside of these movies, but it's always like a small reference or anything like that. Not like the story, like this storyline will continue into the next one. Like the whole like Bond's wife. Yes, that's a thing that continued on with Blofeld and everything else, but it wasn't necessarily like a continuation and everything else, if that makes sense. Of like the movie, like, because usually they would deal with the problem in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Then they would have like their thing, and then they would go on to do whatever it is that the movie was going to do. And it was going to be whatever like mission that James Bond was on. This is like hardcore Bond is doing this. Like this is like he's going after Spectre. And Spectre is very much like the main antagonist of James Bond, which is how it is in the books.
Okay.
And everything else. I mean, do you want me to spoil the movie for you?
I mean, you said it was going to be spoiler-ish.
I mean, yeah. So, essentially, what it is
Do you care if the movie gets spoiled?
I want to say yes.
How about we not talk about the ending?
That's kind of like the best part. But no, but it's a solid. It is a solid movie though, because it's all about like Bond really wrapping up everything, because Bond has to say goodbye to Vess Berlin, who, if you remember, is the female, which is the Bond girl from the first one, from Casino Royale, where it's very much like he has to trust again, because he loved her. That was his first love, and then she ends up betraying him to Mr. White, and and then you end up finding out that she was using Bond, and then she fell in love with Bond, and she killed herself because she had known she betrayed him and stuff like that. And it really does call back to that. The new Bond girl that's in this one is Madeline Swan. She was from Spectre. She's the Bond girl that was in there. The really cool thing about this one is that because Bond has been gone for so long, they assumed he was dead. Kind of like how all the Craig. And so what they did is they actually then came up with a brand new 00, who was another 007. So they basically say, yes, the 007 is a number. It's something that can be given away and everything like that. So in this movie, there are 2 007s. Mm-hmm. And it's so interesting on how exactly they can use those 2 because it's very weird on how exactly a lot of movie studios, they always go, oh yeah, in order to make a female protagonist really interesting, she's just good at everything. Mm-hmm. Immediately, she's just good at everything. This one does it a lot where she messes up. She has these instances where she'll mess up, or Bond will trip her up. And stuff like that. She literally Wile E. Coyotes into a wall because Bond shoots a cable that she's riding on, and she Wile E. Coyotes into it, and it's hilarious. Oh wow! And they're very much playing past the football because they're trying to get this chemical scientist into a car and stuff like that. It's a whole bunch of stuff, but it's really good. And Robbie Malek does a really good job. He's very weird, and he does his Robbie Malek thing.
Remy, isn't it Remy?
No, it's Robbie.
It's Robbie.
Rami.
It's Rami Malek.
Rami, there you go.
It's Rami Malek.
Yeah, because he was in the last one too, right?
No.
Or is this the first time he was in here?
Yeah, this is the first time he's inside of this one.
He's a good actor.
Robbie Malek is really good. Because this one is all about, which I was kind of wondering on how exactly it would work inside of a COVID era world of, he has a nanobot virus that if you touch somebody, you can kill them.
Okay.
So it's DNA based where there's nanobots inside of it. So if it will attack a specific DNA, but that means that you can also destroy an entire bloodline.
Okay.
Because they all share the same DNA. So if they were to also touch that body, it will then travel through those people and kill an entire bloodline. But they were saying oh yeah, you can tweak this. You can tweak this.
He played the main villain in this one, right?
Yeah, he plays the main villain in this one, and he does. And it's really interesting because Blofeld does come back, and so does Spectre. And it's a twist. There's a twist there. What was it? Robbie Malek is able to just annihilate Spectre in 2 seconds.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of good to hear that you enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, it was fun.
Because from what I remember,
it's also 2 hours and 45 minutes.
That's fine. I can sit through. Yeah,
no,
that's fine.
The only reason I was thinking that is because at a certain point, because mind you, I was watching it at midnight. I was watching it at 9:30. I ended up going to the IMAX over in Century City, and at a certain point,
is this an IMAX movie?
It is an IMAX movie. It's very much an IMAX movie. This is a movie that you need to watch it at IMAX because the whole the entire image and everything like that, and it's really sick. It is really sick.
So, to the point I was trying to make, it's good. It's awesome actually to hear this because I remember there were a lot of people that haven't spoke well about a James Bond movie. Because the way I feel that most people rank these James Bond movies, the Craig era, Casino Royale, and then I feel like people enjoyed Skyfall.
It's usually either Casino Royale,
Skyfall,
but they usually interchange them.
Skyfall, I remember watching, and it was pretty good.
It was good.
It was great. And then no one really talks about Spectre as much, even though I enjoyed it.
I remember
put Spectre at the bottom.
I remember when
lower than Quantum Solace.
Yeah, because Quantum of Solace is tolerable.
And Spectre wasn't?
Dude, Spectre's kind of rough.
I remember when Spectre came out, and because I was really hyped for it. The trailer hyped it up because we had, what's his name, from Inglourious Bastards?
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz as the villain.
He's Blofeld.
Yeah. And it was okay, cool. We'll see him as a Bond villain, which is really interesting. And I remember when people saw it, because I didn't see it right away, because again, I'm not a huge Bond fan. But I remember when people saw it, they were telling me it sucked. They were like, "It's terrible." It's terrible.
But Bond fans
it was
are
such
very
a
critical.
letdown.
No, but the thing that was really trippy about Blofeld was because what they. Because my brother got really mad about it, because my brother is a huge James Bond fan. Mm-hmm. So any of my James Bond knowledge is all from him. Mm-hmm. But essentially what happened is that he was the dumbest thing they could have done is in Spectre, they used the same thing that Goldmember did in Austin Powers of like the bad guy has been your brother the whole time. And they literally just went, oh yeah, Blofeld is James Bond's adopted brother. And he's upset because James Bond was better at everything, and like now he's trying to prove that he's better than Bond.
Is that actually the thing?
That's pretty much that's kind of like the thing. In Spectre.
It's almost like
it's dumb.
It's a cop out. You know, it's like that's like lazy writing.
But at that point, how much more can you do when pretty much anything that's interesting has already been taken?
But the thing is that movie went through so many like rewrites, and it went
No
through
Time
like
to Die, right? Yeah.
No. Spectre.
Spectre.
Spectre went through so many rewrites, and it went through reshoots, and it went through like all these other things because originally it wasn't supposed to be.
Now I remember, because Spectre is the movie where Bond is tied up in a white room, right? They have him tied up in a white room, and they're about to inject something in him.
Yes.
That's towards the end, and it was in a field of like satellites or something
Yeah.
like that.
It's like in a desert of satellites.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was, but again, I'm not like a hardcore Bond fan.
I'm not gonna lie. Even when you said that, I was like, "White Room? When was that?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, that's Spectre. Yeah, that's
Again, which
That's
studio
what
puts out Bond films? What is it? Which studio?
Studio is MGM, but
Is it
now
okay.
it's MGM, which is now Amazon.
Oh.
Well, Amazon is buying them. They're
Yeah, I was
finishing
gonna
up the
say,
contract.
Does Amazon have all those movies up on there? They should.
No, they should.
Amazon,
Yeah, they
Amazon,
do
I think
already,
does. Yeah, Amazon already owns.
They were on
'Cause-
Hulu for a little bit, but now I know they're on Amazon.
With the way that Nick talks about this movie, like I definitely have to see it in IMAX at this point.
No, yeah, I would definitely watch it in IMAX. This movie is, I think any action film, any really good action film, you should watch in IMAX just because of like.
When he said that, I was like, okay, so Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible is going to be one of those movies that we have to watch in IMAX?
Yes. How have you not watched a Mission Impossible movie in IMAX?
No, I didn't say that you shouldn't. I'm just saying. Dude, don't even
I watched-
get me started. I tried to
watched-
convince someone today to watch all of the Mission Impossible movies. I tried today because
Who, Rene?
no,
What?
one of my coworkers.
Oh, yeah, but they're soft. So like don't blame them.
I just can't believe that most people forget that
blame
Tom
the
Cruise is
schools.
crazy, that he does his own stunts.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Well,
he got
I mean-
hypothermia for his last one.
He broke his foot too.
Yeah,
And-
he broke his foot. He got hypothermia for like either the last one or the one before that because he was like, oh yeah, like they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a stunt double and he's gonna he's gonna be hanging outside of a plane and he's like, what stunt double? I'm gonna do it.
So there are many things I love and hate about Tom Cruise, but the one things I love is how he's so involved in all of his Mission
He's
Impossible
our generation's
movies.
Jackie Chan.
So if you notice in every
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Go on.
And if you notice in every single Mission Impossible movie that he has ever been in and will be in, there's always a running scene.
Yeah, there is.
There's always a running
And that
scene.
guy never gets tired.
He never gets tired, and it's something about like him and his form.
He's a
of
live-action
running.
Terminator.
He loves. It's something about he loves the way he runs.
Yeah.
because you could tell that when he's running in every single Mission Impossible movie, there's like there's a stance he does. His back straight. He goes like this. His legs are going up and high and stuff like
Ghost
that.
Protocol, where he's running. That's
Bro,
Ghost Protocol,
I'm
right?
gonna-
When
I'm
he's
gonna-
running.
No,
on the roof?
that in Mission Impossible 3 when he's trying to chase.
He also does it in
Oh,
1
yeah.
and 2.
1 and 2, yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I watched it when I was a kid, and I was like, "That's how you're supposed to run." I've done that ever since.
Yeah.
Like that's how I run.
So-
like, just hands like that, and just
Your back has to be straight.
dude, your back has to be straight. You're just
Dun, 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 dun.
dude. Tom Cruise just like chased a car.
What if
Like
Mission Impossible-
obviously that's how you're supposed to run.
because they really do. They go all out in the last movie when Simon Pegg's character is like on your left. He's all okay. He's just
Was
going
that
this way.
that's Fallout?
Yeah.
yeah.
When he's chasing Henry Cavill's character.
Oh, that's right. It's in Fallout.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I was
Yeah,
like Ghost
and
Protocol. Ghost Protocol is the plane, right?
Ghost Protocol. He's running. No, he's running in the Desert Storm.
Yeah, he's trying to outrun a storm.
Oh,
He's trying to outrun a storm.
Oh, that reminds me of that Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode where he's like, I only like the word impossible when it's followed up by
Mission-
Ghost and Protocol. And I got that too. It's like, oh.
So now it's basically, if you watch a Mission Impossible movie, you just basically watch for whatever scene Tom Cruise is doing on his own.
No, I watch him for everything.
But
But
that's the
Mission
staple.
Impossible.
But that's the staple in his movies.
Look, your movie's Die Hard. His is James Bond.
Yeah.
Mine is Mission Impossible.
But I'm saying that in every staple of a Mission Impossible movie, there's a scene where he's doing his own stunt, which is a crazy stunt,
Exactly.
and then also a chasing scene.
Dude, we should just talk
A
about
running
how
scene, I mean.
we should make a podcast or something where we just debate what's the better franchise: Bond, Die Hard, or Mission Impossible.
That's a milestone.
That's
issue.
a-
That's a milestone.
That's a milestone episode.
We all, one of us comes out of this room alive.
I'm just saying, one of them has 26.
You know what? We would have to watch all those movies to even
In order-
debate
yeah.
it. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
thing.
you've got homework to do, buddy.
We all have homework.
You have like 5 movies.
Okay, but
I have
no-
like 6.
No, but
and they're all
I'm saying-
great.
No, I'm
Excuse
saying
me. I've already seen all of them.
No.
Yeah, but you got to rewatch them again.
no, but we
Dude,
all
I
have to
a-
watch those
dude,
movies.
I have a mind like a trap. I remember all of them.
No, I'm
You've
saying
got
we
Die
all
Hard
have to.
1?
No, I'm saying we all have to
all
watch.
of us?
All of us have to watch. If we're able to debate those, we have to watch
true.
the
Oh,
other
I guess we have
franchises.
to present the evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah,
In
that's
the
what I'm
reason. The reason why.
Die Hard, come on! You die hard off a building. Just tie a hose into your waist and jump.
It's really hard for me to make fun of John McClane. It's really hard because I was about to make a joke about John McClane, and I'm like, yeah, but he's dope. He's
dope.
He's basically a Terminator.
Yeah,
Once
he's
you start
the
getting-
only guy that tried to get help in his action
We're not going to
movies.
debate this
I'm
right now.
saying.
Anyway,
We're
that's
not debating
that's
this right
besides
now.
the point. Bond
So-
will win no matter what. Anyway, and that's all we'll say about it. So
With his gadgets, that's why.
you're just jealous because he doesn't get a car.
No, but Tom
He's got
Cruise gets a
machine gun.
motorcycle.
The ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. Now I have
Yeah,
a
but
machine
did your
gun.
character get an iconic death pose in Call of Duty? No.
Who?
The assassination thing that he does in Call of Duty.
Oh.
With the rabbit, the what is it, the handgun that
the
he grabs on the
handgun.
back?
Listen,
the Christmas
I'm
tape.
not a master of comedy, but I'm going to let you know right now. When you have to explain the joke, it's not funny.
I'm not. It wasn't a joke. It was a point that Rene was. You know what? Never mind. God.
I said that to a customer yesterday.
You had to explain the joke.
No,
It's not funny?
no, because he was like, because I was eating McDonald's, and he said something about like, oh yeah, you're, you know, can you share some McDonald's, you know, and stuff, and it's just like a little teenage kid with coming. I guess they're coming from out of school right here, and then he's like, huh, I'm just joking, and then like none of his friends are laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm like, it has to be funny to be a joke.
Oof.
So he's like,
Why'd you say that to a kid?
Because
You didn't even make Nick laugh.
I like it.
Overall, I think you convinced me at least to watch this Bond movie.
Go check out the ending. I'll tell you what the ending is after if you want me to tell you.
No, I think
I'll
I'm
ask
gonna
you.
sit
I might ask you after, but okay. If anything, if this question spoils the ending, because I'm just asking, does it set up for another Bond?
The ending of this movie, there's an after credit scene, but it's only a title card.
Oh, okay.
And it literally just
Bond
says
will return in the next one.
Absolutely. It says
Okay.
Bond will return.
Oh, okay.
I was joking, but okay.
No, that's literally what it says. It says Bond will return. But the thing is that
marveling at
it's
that.
not. But the thing is that it's not going to be Craig, and they made sure
Yeah.
that it can't be
Yeah.
Craig.
Because the way they ended this one.
The way they end this one makes
So
sure
who do you
that
think is the
Craig-
next Bond?
I don't know. I think honestly, you know who I think would be a really good Bond. I was even asking my brother about it, and it's what was it?
It's Chris Pratt. Just kidding.
No.
The internet. No, not that. Just the internet will
That
explode.
canceled us.
You know who would do a really good one? Aaron Edgerton.
Oh yeah.
What has he done?
Kingsman. The main character in Kingsman.
Eggsy? Are you
Yes.
serious? Him?
Yes.
Yeah.
As Bond?
What's wrong with? He's
what's wrong with that?
literally
He's
Kingsman.
British.
He's British, and he can pull off
I
that
can't
suave.
see him that way though.
They literally make fun of spy films in
They
that
do,
movie.
but that's why. Like, I can't see him as that.
No. But the thing is that he has that snarkiness, and the reason why I like that is because
as a young
want,
Bond.
I want to see him as a young Bond. I want to see a young Bond because we've already
Ooh, I see what you're
done
going, yeah.
we've already done a
Okay.
middle-aged Bond.
Okay.
We've done an older Bond because like once you start getting into what was it like more Bond, it's so hilarious because was rewatching the movies, and at a certain point, Moore is like in his 60s in these movies. And I'm like, dude, you got to get, like, what is this old man doing on the side of the bus, man? Get this man on that AARP card. Like, what the heck, dude? Like, it looks weird when a 60-year-old man is trying to hit on a 20-year-old woman. It looks awkward.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that Craig wasn't it Craig that said that he doesn't want to play Bond anymore because there's certain things that he just felt like weren't age appropriate?
For him?
It's not
Yeah.
it's that.
I don't know if
but
it was Craig or if it was someone else.
The biggest thing about Bond movies, and the reason why a lot of the actors stopped doing them, is because they're so exhausting. Because you have to keep a specific figure. It also ties up your contracts as well. Like if they're shooting a Bond movie, it's like you're only shooting a Bond movie. However long this Bond, unless we wrap early or something like that, you cannot take another project. You can't like, oh yeah, like well, I'm gonna go leave. No, you're Bond.
Because you have to keep an aesthetic.
You have to be here. Not only that, but also you even have a wardrobe contract.
Yeah, and a contract with Aston Martin, which I would not complain about.
No, but okay, so the wardrobe contract says that you cannot wear a tuxedo in any other movie.
Dope.
Unless it's a Bond movie, you can't wear it. That's why in a couple of movies where Brosnan was doing a couple of movies.
He was doing comedy, yeah.
He was doing a couple comedy movies, and he was still Bond at the time.
Yeah.
He's wearing a tuxedo, but if you notice, he doesn't have a tie on.
No.
His tuxedo tie is open. And the reason being is because that was a loophole. He can wear a tuxedo, but it's not completed.
That just made me think.
So he's not Bond.
Go ahead. I'm just doing my research.
And everything else. So it's so interesting. So it really ties you up, and like contractually and everything like that. But also they're exhausting. You have to stay a certain fit. You have to
get
stay
an
super
Aston
fit.
Martin. You can choose any Aston Martin you want.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, yeah.
Like Brian's, but you get to.
But you get an Aston Martin.
Yeah, but you also have like, I mean, it's the same thing as like Tobey Maguire when he quit, when he stopped being Spider-Man. Like he had like 4 fractured ribs. He had a dislocated spine. Like this man was beaten to hell
But
just
the
to be
Aston
Spider-Man.
Martin.
Oh my god.
And he was Spider-Man.
He was Spooderman.
And he was Spider-Man.
Did he get to keep the? Oh no, because he didn't have the web shooters.
He didn't have
It was
web
organic.
shooters. They were
It was all
organic.
organic. Yeah.
There was
Did he
little
keep the
handies.
suit? I wonder if he kept the suit.
Oh,
He
okay.
probably
I
kept
was
the
just-
mask.
okay.
He probably kept the mask.
I was just doing research. I was like, oh wait, when did he do Mist Doubtfire? And then when did GoldenEye come out? Okay, Mist Doubtfire was like years before GoldenEye.
No. Yeah, that's way before.
Okay, I
That's
was like,
the-
because he was young. I remember he was young. In
it's
Mist
like
Doubtfire.
94, 95.
Yeah, Mist Doubtfire came out in 93. GoldenEye
Yeah, so
came
I'm
out in
95.
95. Yeah.
Are we done with the Bond stuff?
But he was doing, but in between he did like Mars Attacks. And then
He was in Mars.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
He did Dante's Peak.
Yeah,
the volcano movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He did that?
And then he did.
Dude, I watched Dante's Peak in 6th grade. That movie changed my life in
And
a
then
way.
in 97 he did Tomorrow Never Dies.
That was the first movie I saw a bone protruding out.
Is that why you don't hike?
No, it's why I don't like seeing bones protruding out.
Oh, well,
You know, but you know what's funny is
Oh,
that
I
in
don't like thinking
between-
about that.
it's probably weird that you work in the medical field.
That's why I don't. I want out.
So-
dude, I can't do needles, man.
So it's funny in between his Bond movies though, he didn't do other than Mars Attacks and Dante's Peak. After that, there wasn't big films he did in between because I'm
No,
looking at him.
because you're contracted.
He's contracted, so he's not doing big
If you
movies.
look at
The world
if you look
is-
at Craig, he does the same thing. The biggest movie he really did was probably
Knives Out. That was it.
That
You
was
know,
like
he
one of
did Knives Out. He tried to do the Golden Compass.
He
That
tried to
didn't
do
take
the-
it. That didn't take anywhere. That's the thing.
Well,
Have
that,
you guys
that
seen
didn't,
Knives
that
Out?
didn't help anybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
why?
Is it that good? Is that
You never
like-
seen Knives Out?
Have you
No.
never seen Knives Out?
Dude, that's
Knives
super
Out's really good. It's
Who's
good.
it directed by again?
Oh, I think we know why you don't watch it.
No,
Ryan Johnson.
no, that's not why I wanted to
Oh.
watch it. I just wanted to see because you
why
guys bag
don't
on.
watch it.
Why
Because
would I
of
not
Ryan
watch
Johnson.
it?
Because you don't
No.
like Last Jedi.
No, I love the Last Jedi.
Oh,
Wait, you like The Last Jedi?
Oh boy.
Are we about to fight? Are we about to like go to blows right now? For no reason,
Let's go
take my
outside,
shirt
butt
off.
naked.
butt naked.
You're not down.
Pre 69 episode.
Don't you try to pay with cash you can't fucking pay with.
You couldn't even say the
I had a thing and then like it lost me halfway through and I was like I don't know.
You know what lost me? What if? I'll be right back. Go for it. What if?
You're just gonna say that.
Are you
and
just gonna say what if and then walk away?
I just take a leak right now?
Use the restroom.
I was
Lock 'em
gonna
in.
do that. Damn it. Go ahead.
Do we all have to pee?
Yeah.
Oh, it sucks. Suckers.
It's okay. That restroom fits too.
Okay. So the other movie that Daniel Craig did really quick because that made me curious about Daniel Craig's filmography during the James Bond films. So the only big ones he's done in between.
He does some voice work.
He did a lot of voice work. He did he did Golden Compass. He did The Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was after Casino Royale. And then he did How to Lose Friends and Alternate People, but he was an uncredited role.
Yes.
Then he did Quantum of Solace. And after Quantum of Solace, he did a movie called Defiance, which I do remember that took off a little bit, but not too bad.
Yep.
Then he did Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He did a movie called Dream House. He did a voice for Adventures of Tintin.
Yes.
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He was the main character.
He was one of the main characters in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's right.
Then he did Skyfall, but then after Skyfall he did Spectre, and then after Spectre there was Logan Lucky.
Was that legitimately his next movie? Was Spectre?
So yeah,
it was Skyfall then Spectre.
He did James Bond in a video game called World of Espionage.
Yes.
And then after that it was The Force Awakens. He played an uncredited stormtrooper.
He's the one that releases Rey from her handcuffs. Yes.
He did Logan Lucky, which I hear that did well.
Logan Lucky's really good.
He did a movie called Kings. Then he did Knives Out. And now he did Time to Die. And now he's doing Knives Out 2.
He's doing Knives Out 2 and 3.
Yeah. And then Knives Out 3, yeah. So.
But yeah.
What if we just move this conversation along?
Well, no, because that got me interested how...
you were gone, and then you said, what if? So we went, okay, let's vamp. And so we started talking about his filmography. You were supposed to come back and say, so what if?
Go use the restroom. You're angry.
No.
You need to go.
No. I mean,
in the corner.
I want to pinch it so that way I can hold my rage. I'm just
the urge to urinate fuels my anger.
It fuels my anger. It makes me more upset.
That's my secret, Cap. I just hold my piss.
I just pinch it off.
I always have to piss.
Got a little like a close clip down there.
Oh God.
Okay,
that makes me want to go. I got it.
So what if?
What if
I didn't say that? So what if it finally ended? Thank God.
What a train wreck. Like, not to be mean, but like,
I did not like this.
Why did it just?
I cared more about 15-minute things of Star Wars than I did What If. I would not go rewatch What If.
So
I wouldn't.
My issue with What If is that it tried to be something and it just didn't work out for it. Like,
I did not realize how sensitive these mics are.
I was like, what are you talking? Like, oh yeah. All right.
I did not realize.
ASMR.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I didn't care about What If at the end. It just terrible. Like, okay, it's easy way out. It's a kid's show. It's cartoons. A kid will enjoy it because it's different iterations of superheroes. You're already kind of putting the tone of the show. It's boring that you yawned. Yeah. I mean, what more is there to talk about? We can pretty much discuss why we didn't like it. Yeah, and it's just because the story was too much.
Honestly, I feel like we've already mentioned it enough times and everything like that. I don't like the fact that they just did things. Like, there was just things.
It existed, so I don't like it.
No, but it just it okay.
Plain and simple, it worked. It did too much.
No, but not really that. It was something that we had talked about when we were talking about the Tony Stark episode. Was that the characters were made to fit the story instead of the story being made to fit the characters.
Okay.
And I feel like that's a problem that a lot of Marvel animation does. I've talked about this before where, you know, DC, especially when they do like animated movies and stuff like that, a lot of the times they'll either adapt an animation that's already there, or if they're doing stuff like Young Justice or like Teen Titans or something like that, they'll then adapt the story around the characters that we already have and stuff like that. Whereas Marvel will have a story that they want to tell and then get these characters and bend them backwards. and do everything in their power to make sure that they fit that story. They'll make them, like, things that they would never do in 100 years. They'd make them do it because they need them to do it in order to make the story move forward.
Technically, that's allowed here because these are different stories and different character. This is different. They were developed differently.
Sure, but the thing is that but you can't say that. You can't say that when they are assuming that certain people made the same decisions in certain areas. So that means that
Tony Stark not being smart enough to figure out what Killmonger's
about Killmonger or anything else. There's a lot of things where they go like, oh yeah, like they're smart enough to figure this out, but they weren't smart enough to figure this thing out. Where it's like, but if they figured that out, wouldn't they have just figured out this thing and everything else? And it's a lot of just like, just believe it, just automatically just accept what it is and don't question it. And I don't like when stories do that.
That problem develops when you start to realize that What If took on more than it could chew. Because there's just way too, like, that's the thing. Again, you mentioned it the first time we talked about What If. You can't develop animation quickly, and that's why most of these episodes are 20 to 30 minutes. It's complicated to do, it's difficult work, and it's a lot of money. Right? So you can't invest that much, especially with something so new. Now, the problem with trying to squeeze in a big story in 20 minutes is that you have to start to skip certain things, like what you just said, right? Certain characters will make decisions that aren't usually things that they would do. Character development just goes out the door. And you're right on the whole Tony Stark thing. Like, he wouldn't be as stupid as he was here, and he wouldn't have realized that late that Killmonger was behind, the manipulation that existed in that episode. When we look at the last episode, that's a clear example of what it did. It took on more than it can chew, and it just rushed through the story quickly. The Watcher finally decided to intervene because he started to sense that there was, a problem with the multiverse, and he needed to kind of like put things together. Right. But then he started getting, certain characters. Even Gamora's character felt out of place because we're like, okay, what universe does she exist in?
Well, that's a deleted. It's an episode that was never aired.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
I don't know, but it's an episode that was cut.
So again,
I was really looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, because that's it. Because in the commercial, they show Tony on Sakaar, and they show all that stuff
in the trailer.
In the trailer, so there's an episode out there that was supposed to explain Gamora.
Do you think it was done, or you just think that it was cut short?
I think that they probably either cut it short or maybe they're saving it for something else, but that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
It ties in with everything at the end. That's
so, yeah.
Because it was supposed to explain why Gamora was hunting down the stones. And because she was like hunting down the stones and destroying them.
So,
like that.
This goes back into this, okay, in the last episode, for example, the one mistake they did, but again, it's explained by the Watcher simply saying, oh, I already knew the outcome of this entire situation, was they bring in Killmonger. Knowing how he developed in his universe, why would you bring him in to be a guardian of the multiverse, knowing that he could have, at the end, betrayed?
Not could have, he was.
Or, yeah.
He was always going to betray him.
He was always going to.
But I think their rationale is that, his rationale is that it's impossible to defeat this Ultron, so they have to be... So somebody has to keep him inside of this pocket dimension with Strange. The problem that is also there is a lot of people were confused about it because if you go from the Thor episode into the the Ultron episode, there's a scene where at the very end, the Watcher's doing his like big monologue and everything like that. And then he's like, yes, we've seen this before, yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden he goes, wait, what? And like you see Ultron walk through the portal.
Yeah.
But then you have the next episode where the Watcher is watching what's going on. And he's seeing like how exactly the events are going there. So is that a different Watcher that's watching? Why is it that he knows what's going on with this? Because he's supposed to be seeing everything all at once. So the fact that he didn't see this coming
is weird.
Too
much to chew.
Yeah, it's weird, and then it's a thing that you never brought up in the following thing. It sounds more like you did it as a gag.
That's what I was.
And you didn't think of like the ramifications of how exactly that works with the laws of the Watcher that you've already established in the series, that he's supposed to be seeing everything and anything all at once.
So there's another problem with this because in Loki, for example, they were mentioning that the Infinity Stones were pretty much just like paperweights. That's nothing, when it comes to like the universe and time and all this other stuff, the TVA is all powerful. They could be the ones that control everything, and they're unaffected by the Infinity Stones. Yet Ultron is doing all this stuff, jumping from universe to universe and destroying planets and stuff.
Pocket dimensions and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I guess you could say it's because, the TVA was disbanded, and that's why Ultron's able to do all this other stuff.
I feel like that's the thing. It feels like the writers or people that were on doing What If didn't understand most of the stuff that they created, and then making it like
fit everything
in, because when you get onto the whole Watcher thing, the Watcher is supposed to be like kind of like how Dr. Manhattan is, where he's inceptive in every single time, past, present, and future. He's
seeing it all at once.
He's seeing it all at once. He's experiencing everything all at once. That's how the Watcher is, essentially.
Yeah.
But when they did that one Thor episode, he's like, oh yeah, well, wait, what? How did that happen? And then they're back to the episode where they start the next episode that he's seen it, how it all started and stuff. And it's like,
it's going to get very difficult for writers to kind of reference back their work. And, I think we mentioned it in earlier podcasts. I think once the multiverse was, split open in Loki, we said that this could be very dangerous for writers. Yeah. Because now there's a lot of source material they got to go back into. They have to make sure that certain things don't, overlap with other things. And, this is a good example of that.
But the thing is that's pretty easy, though, because
easy to do, to not overlap.
No, here's this is what I mean, though. I feel that when they made these episodes, there had to be a roadmap, because they needed to get everybody to a specific spot in order to get them to the end.
Okay.
This end point. That means that they had to do the same thing the same kind of roadmap that they did for all the other episodes. You can, for like the MCU and everything like that, of this leads into this leads into this guy will be brought in over here, and everything else. You can't necessarily go, oh yeah, they didn't do a good job just because they were going to overlap each other. You knew already that we're overlapping. You knew that there was already lore that's out there. The Marvel animation has just been terrible with that, of just like making quality material. And I don't know why. Like, for some reason, their live action department kicks butt. Like, they really know what they're doing. They know how to help each other out.
So are you saying that this isn't kind of like foreshadowing what could happen in
I think it's just
No Way Home?
It's an animation. It's the animation studio specifically, because I feel like even the animation studio, like if you watch, because they have like really good cartoons and stuff like that, but whenever they make like an animated movie or anything else, those animated movies suck. Like they're not good. They're not like fantastic movies or anything like that. It's not The Killing Joke, or it's not what was it, like The Long Halloween, where you're like, oh, this is a really
The Long Halloween's on HBO Max.
It is. It's really good. You should go check it out.
I'm gonna.
Is it on HBO Max already?
Yeah.
Both parts.
Crap.
Both
Okay,
parts.
cool, sweet.
That's how good the DC animation department is, though. It gets us
I'm
excited.
just also happy because I get to hear Jensen Ackles' voice again.
Yeah.
You get to hear him whisper sweet nothings. But that's the thing, though, is that they did a solid job, and even that they got Jensen Ackles to play Batman, and it's one of those things of is it Bale or is it anything like that? That wasn't the point.
Jensen Ackles.
It's not.
He's the
Dean.
He's Dean from Supernatural. He also voiced Red Hood in Batman
Under the Red Hood.
Hood.
So they have him as Batman in
He's
this one?
doing the voice of Batman.
But dude,
yeah.
he's
Is he really good?
Because
we mentioned
dude,
it.
he's 40 years old now.
Yeah.
He has this a much
he's
more.
got-
age is what gives him the range.
Honestly, because he has that gravel
Yeah.
to his voice now, where like even when he's talking, like you.
Watch,
I'm
What
gonna
Batman are we getting here?
I'm gonna pull up a sound clip. Watch.
Pull up
What
sound clip.
Batman are we getting here? Are
The
we
Long
getting
Halloween, the
Long
detective?
Halloween. Yeah, it's more
so the one
detective
that stands
Batman.
straight with the cape over his shoulder? Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, anyway, sorry, we sidetracked.
But Jensen Ackles is more. He plays a really good like detective Batman.
Good.
He
That's
plays
what I like.
he plays a solid detective Batman.
Oh, I'm excited.
dealing
Okay,
with
I'm
all
kind
those things.
of. Okay, let's go. Let's continue.
Let's
on to
finish
the-
that way we can go watch this.
I'm down, honestly.
Let me go watch the better thing. I could watch The Long Halloween 3 times and still.
What time
enjoy
is it? 9. Dope.
You're like-
yeah. Well, because I got work tomorrow at 5.
So you can definitely check out The Long Halloween.
Yeah, the stuff that we're filming
an
is
hour.
definitely
It's
like
an hour and a half.
an hour, so we can do that and then go to my place and we can watch it. And
Oh my god, we can touch each other. I'm gonna be so excited. We're gonna.
So what if? Look,
We already
I
brought
don't.
the cameras. We already brought the cameras. What's up?
What if it's the ending was a disappointment. There's a lot of overlap, and it doesn't help that they've already said that this is canon. You know, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
So overall, I think what if could have been better if it really just, you know, condensed its stories and didn't focus on telling so many different ones each episode. It could have worked if it did 2 or 3 different stories over 9 different episodes. That could have been better.
I feel like scope and limitations of the length of episodes. Minimize the scope and lengthen your episode and lengthen your
If
episodes.
you didn't have the money to lengthen your episodes, you could focus on 3. If it's 9 episodes, Disney should have ordered 10 episodes. 3 different universes, give each one 3 episodes, and then the final one is the big ending. A 2-parter.
I'm telling you, that's the reason why I keep on referring to Justice League Unlimited or the Justice League TV show, because that's exactly what they did. They would literally go, it's an episode we're doing a story. But this isn't just like a story that we're going to tell. This is a story that we need an hour for.
Yeah.
So we're going to separate this into 2 to 3 episodes because it needs 2 to 3 episodes for us to tell it properly.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's it allows the story to breathe. It allows the story to have these, these cliffhangers and stuff like that. And it allows you to really enjoy the characters that are in the episode.
Yeah.
And everything else. And I feel like that was something that you didn't really get to feel inside of What If, because they already assumed, well, you already know these characters because you saw the movies.
Yeah.
And everything else, but it's like, no, I want to see more of this. I really do want to see more of like these characters, and I want them to breathe, and I want to live in their worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything else, and you didn't let me. You sped me through it, and then now I'm like, okay, I guess.
Why do I care?
Yeah, like why do I care?
Like-
Because I hit the fast forward button.
Like I get the whole like, oh yeah, we're gonna do the like a crossover episode at the end, but it's like at the same time, it's like that could have been saved for maybe a season 2 or season 3. Establish What If as just season 1, and just these, and then surprise us with like, oh no, we might put them together at the end of next season. Not this season, because it just like it's just you felt nothing.
Whatever.
There was
it also
nothing.
didn't help for me that they basically just copied Winter Soldier again with Captain Carter. Like, I love Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, when they're talking to Black Widow.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why are we doing this? Like, don't ruin it perfectly.
Not
don't ruin
really-
my favorite Marvel
but,
movie.
but hold on. But that also leads me to that point. That leads me to another point. How in the world did the Hydra Buster get there when it was with the Allies at the end of Captain Carter episode?
I don't know. Do we care enough to actually discuss it?
But that's what I'm saying,
No,
though,
no,
is that
but-
there's.
but
But
they-
that's,
he's right.
They
but it's-
showed us that.
Yeah,
They showed us
he's
that
right, but
they
it just
found-
doesn't matter. Like, again, I'm not sold enough to legitimately care. When the end scene happened and we see that, I literally was like, okay, like, okay,
guess.
yeah, sure, I
That's
don't
cool,
care.
I guess.
No,
Yeah,
but that-
like
but-
it wasn't captivating.
And there's someone living inside. That's another thing they said. Too.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's the thing I'm talking about, is that they already kind of shortchanged it, and also it leads to a lot of questions of like, okay, so how exactly did the Hydra Buster get captured by Hydra? Like, how have they gotten their hands on it? Because it was in the Allies' possession before the end of the war.
Oh, they're gonna say, oh well, there were Hydra cells inside the Allied forces.
No,
and
because
stuff.
that doesn't make sense, because there wasn't.
I don't know, Nick. It's
That's
what
why-
do you want from me? I'm not writing for Marvel Animation.
No, but he's not looking for an answer. He's just pointing out.
He's just trying to make you realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of things that they just did, instead of going like, oh, this is where the story naturally is going.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. They're
They
just
were on
like,
a
oh,
time
yeah.
crunch. I don't know. They said a season 2's already signed up. They already signed up for season 2.
But does that mean, are we getting continuations, or are we getting new What Ifs?
If they focus on Captain Carter, I'm throwing that out the window. I don't care. I don't want Captain Carter.
No, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. They're gonna introduce new things, and then they're also gonna reintroduce like other characters. and check in with them.
Here's what I want from a season 2.
Because I
let's
can
bring
already-
back Marvel Zombies. Let's
do we? I think
want it.
Marvel Zombies gone.
No, I want a final good conclusion from Marvel Zombies that wasn't, terrible.
Oh yeah. Also, the Watcher just doomed that universe that they were in.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one that he just dumped zombies in.
Mm-hmm.
There was no one on that planet.
They're intelligent zombies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're still the same. But
I don't think it was a Watcher. It was Doctor Strange. That,
Oh yeah, it was Doctor Strange.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he doomed that universe.
But didn't he blow it up? Didn't Ultron blow up that planet?
Did he?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
at the
Yeah, he
very
did,
end.
yeah.
Okay, I guess it fixed.
Unless there's one rogue zombie that's floating in space.
it's a zombie, man. Just,
It's just floating there.
it's like a
Man, I'm hungry.
It senses a planet, it just starts swimming like trying to force itself onto there.
That's when like the Guardians of the Galaxy pick it up and then they get bit.
They get bit. Oh god.
And then zombies are flying the Milano around.
God. All right. Do we care about? I mean, I was disappointed.
Overall,
by it.
yeah.
Overall, disappointed.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did the one thing I think I said I didn't want them to do was connect everything,
and they did it.
and they did it.
They said, "Hey, Rene, f you."
Yeah.
Do you have the Jensen Ackles?
Oh,
Sound
yeah.
clip?
Well, I was gonna say, do you want to listen to that after we're done with the podcast, or do you want to listen to it now?
I mean, we hyped it up. Why
We
don't
hyped it
yeah,
up.
our listeners deserve to listen to it.
Okay.
Right?
So,
This is what the clip from Long Halloween.
yes. This is Long Halloween when Gordon and both Batman are confronting Calendar Man.
You don't need me for this. I should be out hunting.
Was that Batman?
All of Gotham PD will be deployed throughout town by midnight. One way or another, when Holiday comes calling, we'll be ready. You know, this was all you.
That's Gordon, right?
I wanted them in Gotham Penitentiary. This was Harvey. And he was right.
So I don't want to make us get copy
You're
straight.
right. He does have that like gravelly,
it's
like
it's a raspier, but still you could tell it's a younger Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, it's a
at the
younger
same-
Bruce, but not only that, what I really like is that he took a page out of Kevin Conroy's
Yes.
book. So what he
I
does.
was gonna, okay.
So
that-
when
yeah.
so when he's doing what was it when he
Bruce
so he-
Wayne?
when he's doing Bruce,
I have
Wait, is this
I have
was he
that.
talking as Bruce or Batman?
was talking
Batman.
as
That was
Batman,
Batman, but I
but
have
when
a
he-
one where he's as Bruce.
but when he's talking about Bruce, his tonation is higher.
Yeah.
Not what I'm saying is that he took
This October.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Ah, ad!
Sorry.
and this is
Stupid ads.
sponsored by.
Hey, no, we're not sponsored by anyone. Don't be putting ads up on our podcast.
All right.
Not
here we go.
yet.
This is
Coffee.
it.
In the study, sir.
Someone's gonna pee after that.
A Miss Kyle telephoned. She said she was checking the number you gave her to make sure it's real.
The gates are open. We haven't seen a trick-or-treater in years.
See what I
We
mean?
won't.
See, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He does
That's
the different tone.
great.
Yeah.
He does the, he does the
Okay.
different.
All
He does
right, I'm
the,
sold.
he does the different tone where it's like that's
Plus-
Batman, that's Bruce.
Plus the animations are really good.
Yeah, the
All right,
animation
let's
looks
finish
sick.
this. That way we can go watch it.
I want to watch it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Get some food,
Resident
get
Evil.
some-
Speaking about zombies,
Oh, yeah.
Resident Evil.
That-
Welcome to Racoon City.
That's a good.
That's
That was
a great
that was
segue.
that was
is
a great
good
segue. Man.
So
I had to do
anyway,
that.
for Resident Evil, for
not even gonna
Resident-
fight it.
No, yeah, but you're right. For Resident Evil, that was a really. I actually really like it. I feel. That
we
from
Resident
the
Evil
trailer-
fans?
I am a huge Resident Evil fan.
Yes.
I'm yes.
Okay,
So-
I remember little short story.
I'm such a big Resident Evil fan.
Couple
I hate
ni-
the movies. You know.
Yes.
Yo, what?
I hate the movies.
So,
It's true.
do you remember a couple months ago we went to go get tacos?
Which one?
At
Which
the,
time?
a bunch of times.
I know.
I forget. It was a couple weeks ago, but we were talking. It was you, Rene, me, and Andy, and we were talking.
You've now.
I'm telling the listeners, okay, because they don't
30
know.
different times. They were there with us. Come on. Our life is an open book. Let's go. What's up? So anyway,
We were talking about Resident Evil to her. We're going like, oh yeah, Resident Evil was like solid within like 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 came along, and then it started getting weird, and then 5 happened, and Chris Redfield punched a boulder, and we're like, whoa, that's so cool, but it's kind of weird. 6 sucked. We don't talk about it. Then came 7. You're like, whoa, that's real creepy, and then 8, we don't know it because it
there's
hadn't
been
come out.
8 movies.
No, there's video
8
games.
games.
Oh, video games. I thought you were talking about movies. I was
No,
like,
because at
games.
the time 8 hadn't come out yet.
Yeah,
okay.
Which actually 8 is really good.
yeah. I can't. I want to play it.
it's-
But
I want to
super
play
sick.
it too. Yeah.
It's super sick. It's so good.
We need to finish.
That's why we
7.
need to do like, oh my god. Once I get my job sorted out, we can start doing Let's Plays. But
Fine.
you need to come to my place.
I have been. Don't say like, oh yeah, no, you can't make it, Brian. No. It's like
Listen, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you better come to my house. Because we're not doing I'm not taking a whole laptop. I mean, a whole computer to your house to do Let's. How does that make sense?
Ow, you made me
You-
made my leg cramp. That joke.
I burned you so bad I cramped your leg.
That's great.
So anyway, I feel when I saw this trailer because they showed
You saw it today.
I literally an hour and 30 minutes ago. And an hour and 30 minutes ago from this point, I saw the trailer and it looks like if you were to make a B horror film of Resident Evil, and I feel like that is
B tier horror film.
Yeah, I feel like that is the absolute best possible way to make
Yes,
Resident Evil
because
The best
people,
version of a Resident
So
Evil.
let me just like you said, we're all Resident Evil fans, right?
and it needs,
we can
and it
all.
needs to be cliche. It needs to be cliche as hell.
Resident Evil is good, but it's cheesy good. Like one was, I remember playing that as a kid and being scared out of my mind.
I want to see slow motion action fights.
2, when you were getting chased around, dude. 2 was weird.
I want the camera angles.
Oh,
I want the I want the
Oh,
other-
at the corner on the corner
I
walls.
want to
Yeah.
see the corner walls, so that way, like, you can't see what's coming in front of them. So as they're shooting, you can't see what they're shooting at.
I see.
Because that was always terrifying for me.
Yeah.
When you were playing, of like this thing of like I don't know what's in front of me.
No, what was terrifying was in Resident Evil 1 when you were walking down the hallway, you think it's empty, and then the dogs
Dogs
come out
showing
through the
up.
windows.
How did I
Or
already know
Resident
you
Evil
were
2
zombie dogs?
when you're walking through the police precinct, and then a zombie grabs you from a window. You're like, ah, Jesus. That was scary. But what was scary in 2 was you didn't think that people were smart enough to make an AI follow you throughout the game, but they did it. And that messed me up.
What was
Oh, you
technically
mean, what was it?
Nemesis.
Nemesis?
what
Yeah.
was
I
technically
loved
3? Was that
Nemesis.
Code Veronica? Or?
No, 3. Code Veronica is Resident Evil 0.
Oh, okay.
Code Veronica
it's
was
not.
isn't it?
Resident Evil 0 is something totally different. It's a prequel before Resident Evil 1 that takes
So-
place before it. It's on like a train going to the mansion.
No,
They're at the mansion.
it crashes by the mansion.
Yes.
I'll look at it.
And
I'll
they
look
go
it up.
into it. They go
Code-
into it
which,
before
like,
Stars gets
Code
in there.
Veronica is 4.
Technically?
It's not 4.
It's technically like
It doesn't
three-
take place in
it's-
that area.
It's
It's
3 or 4.
I think it's after 3, before
because
4.
Because
Well, what
3
was
takes
3
place.
about?
Because
Yeah.
3 takes place also in Racoon City.
3 is 2 is Claire Redfield and Leon Kennedy, and 3 is that's not what's the other girl's name?
Ava?
No,
Or
because the first one.
hey, the guy who has Google. What does it say?
So Resident Evil 3 was Resident Evil Nemesis. But
So I told you it takes place in Raccoon City.
2 was
Code Veronica takes
2
place.
was Mr. X. 3 was Nemesis.
Code Veronica takes place after 3.
Yes. So
Before-
It's
Yes,
Yeah.
so then Nemesis is
so it's
3.
it's technically the 4th game.
So wait, which one's Mr. X?
Wait, so what's 2?
So let me
Mr.
see, hold
X.
Can you stop? She's going to answer. All right. Listen, I don't have. I already have to put up with kids at work. I don't have to.
I don't need to put up with another one here.
All right,
Okay.
like you
So-
keep on going like is that?
So the order,
Like-
release order. I have the
Yes.
release order.
Okay.
The one I was looking at was the chronological order, technically.
Yeah.
So release order was Resident Evil 1, obviously Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Nemesis, Resident Evil Survivor, and
Do you happen to know what Resident Evil 2 is about?
Resident Evil 2 takes place here.
Is it in? I think it's
Following
in
the
mansion,
enormous
right?
critical and commercial blah, 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 blah. Resident Evil built upon excellent. No, it just says what the freaking like.
Because I think
success.
2 is the mansion. Is 2 still the
Resident
mansion?
Evil isn't just like kind of all games. Hold on.
Because I thought it was another team that went to go check out what
No,
happened in
Resident
1.
Evil 1 is the mansion. It looks like.
Yeah,
'cause you're
no,
playing
Resident
as-
Evil. I know Resident Evil 1 is the mansion.
Yeah.
I'm
I got
trying
it.
to
I
remember
remember.
if 2 was the mansion.
Resident Evil was
First one,
Yeah.
number 1 is Chris Redfield. Number 2 is Leon Kennedy and Claire
That's-
Redfield.
that's Racoon
Number
City,
3 is
isn't it?
Jill Valentine.
2 is called Raccoon City, and then Valentine is in Nemesis.
And yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
She's being hunted
3 is
by
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Mr. X is in the second one.
Yes.
Now we got to piece together the puzzles
Yeah,
without Google.
I forgot that Resident Evil 2 is Resident Evil 2 Raccoon City.
Yes.
That's what it's called. All right.
Excuse me,
I totally
Sounded
forgot
like a
about that.
zombie. I was like,
And
what the heck?
then 3?
3 is
3 is Nemesis.
Yeah.
And then 4 is Code Veronica, right?
technically Code Veronica is the next one after that.
It's
Then
a
they-
separate.
but it's a separate thing. It's not a.
It's a different team.
Yes.
It's a different team.
I think that was when they start infiltrating Umbrella Corp.
Yeah, that's when they started attacking their bases.
So
Yeah.
they did a Resident Evil. Oh, okay.
And then 4 is Leon is assigned by the president to save his daughter.
and then
Yes.
before that it was Resident Evil 0, And then Resident Evil Dead Aim, Resident Evil Outbreak came out after
Yeah,
that.
those are. We don't have to go over.
Yeah.
Outbreaker, just civilian.
And then the official Resident Evil 4 came out in 2005.
Yeah, and then
Umbrella Chronicles, that's just an arcade game.
yeah,
Then Resident Evil 5 came out, and
Yeah,
then the
then
Dark
5.
Side Chronicles. Those are another
and
side
then it went
story.
into 6, 7.
Oh god, I forgot about Mercenaries.
This is not going.
Revelations. Oh my god, Revelations.
Revelations was
Then you start getting into 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get Operation Racoon City, which was hyped up well, but then not great. Then Resident Evil 6, which is the 3-story arc one, the 3 different story arcs.
Yeah, with Wesker's like
that
son.
camera angle for that game was terrible, dude.
The arcade scroller.
No, because there was one that was an arcade scroller, and then 6 was the one that was you played as Leon in Racoon City, or in a different city that was being infested by zombies. You had Chris Redfield's story, which was
You vamp. I'll be back.
what was Chris Redfield's? It was you didn't play 6, huh? He was dealing with another virus.
I never got around to playing. No, but Resident Evil 6. Oh yeah, I never got around to playing Resident
Yeah.
Evil 6. Yeah.
But so that's the thing.
Because I was telling them, and I was like, "Oh, how's Resident Evil 6?" And people were telling me like, "It sucks. It's not that great."
It's not, for me, it wasn't good because the camera angles were just terrible. Like, it was, because you ever play 5 or you played 4?
I played 5 and 4. Yes.
So remember how 4 at least gave you, like, the camera angle was, it was a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It was kind of like, it didn't let you see the entire field.
But you can move around.
But you can
though.
move around. And it was like, okay. Resident Evil 5 gave you a little bit more to kind of see because it was more of an action game. 6 was like literally right up against their back. And so what made it difficult was, especially in Leon's campaign, because you were dealing with the darkness and because you were dealing with the camera that was so close to that person, you just couldn't see anything. So a lot of the stuff that was going on was not because of your, stupid decisions. It was just mechanically it didn't work. That's what sucked about it.
I need to play the Resident Evil 2 remake and 3.
I have them.
I think that'll be fun to play. But I hear those games are like really kind of like not hard, but they're
Suspenseful.
very suspenseful. And then when you get up to that guy with like the hat, and
Mr. T,
everything-
Mr. X, Mr. T, Mr. X.
Yeah, I hear he's like a pain to fight.
You can come out. It's okay.
Don't you tell me what to do.
I'm coming out of the bathroom with my own reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
All right, so we only got a couple minutes to talk about this because we're about to reach an hour 40. The Welcome to Racoon City trailer said it was like a beef-rated film.
Jesus Christ.
What happened? Did you forget to
Huh?
wash your hands?
No, of course I washed my hands, but like, let's not get into it. Anyway,
Were you unzipped or something?
I was. I if you look back on the thing, as I'm behind Brian's head, I'm like, oh shoot. Like, zip my pants up.
The trailer was filled with a bunch of clips from the video games.
Right.
Yeah.
The most iconic one that I think people will recognize, the zombie, the first time we ever see a zombie, when he's eating a corpse and he turns around all bloodied.
Yeah.
The other one,
With those PlayStation graphics.
yeah. The truck driver going into Racoon City as he's being infected, or as he's becoming infected.
So let's actually get into this movie, because what it kind of looked like is they took 1, 2, 1 and 2 and they mixed them together. Because I did notice that there was a lot of things. There was actual scenes from the game that they recreated in live action, which is really sick. Like the helicopter crashing, the what was it? The tanker flipping over, just like you were saying. So I'm kind of interested to see, because those are like, are we skipping through a bunch of stuff? Are they because I think that would be really sick if it was flashbacks.
I see what you mean.
Okay.
Of them there, and then they're meeting like STARS people, the STARS agents, and they're talking about what happened in the mansion. And then that's what they're showing us. Like, they're showing us like, well, we went into the mansion and it was normal, it was a normal call and stuff like that. And then you're seeing a flashback to that scene and everything like that, and then like they're kind of giving a report. And I think that would be kind of sick. Because that would explain, okay, that's how you're showing
debriefing and stuff. Yeah.
That's how you're showing 1 and 2, because
That'd be
they're
cool,
trying to
yeah.
they're trying to get both, because they're trying to get like the whole story, so that way they could find Chris Redfield.
Yeah.
And everything else, and so like now they have to like meet up with like different people and stuff like that, and I think that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because then they're trying to like survive in Racoon City. I think that's probably like the best bet of what's going on and everything like that. I'm excited. It looks like a complete and total like B horror film, and I'm in.
Yeah.
It's a good kind of. I feel like it's the kind of film that most Resident Evil fans have been waiting for, because the other movies weren't too terrible, but they weren't Resident Evil related films.
1 and 2 aren't terrible. They're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into like 3 through whatever they ended with,
When they go to Vegas and then
You-
Extinction.
you know what, but-
Extinction's the one where they go to Vegas.
but the thing is
Yeah.
that there's so much lore inside of the Resident Evil like games that you can really make some like an interesting like story with it. The fact that you went, oh, like what happens when we just annihilate the entire world because of the T-virus? And it's like, no, there was like so many like cooler things like that. Totally takes off the suspense of of the Resident Evil games of like, oh yeah, everyone's just dead, instead of like, I'm trapped, like I'm trapped in this location. There are zombies or there are Ouroboros or whatever.
That's
it
the
is.
thing. And then like we find out along the way that Umbrella is always connected with these stuff.
Yeah, because
Or-
they didn't mention Umbrella was kind of thrown away after 3. They only did it for Code Veronica for a bit, and then once 4 happened, we didn't even realize that it was Umbrella until later on. Same thing with 5, because 5 was the Ouroboros virus.
Well, the thing is that it's an evolved version of the T-virus.
And we didn't know it was Umbrella who was the one distributing the drugs. They were just Chris was sent in to investigate why this field is being,
yes, why missing agents?
Yeah.
it's all about missing agents and stuff like that. And then you have like Shiva and all that stuff.
Oh man, I love Shiva.
And then we find out Wesker.
I know why you like Shiva. I
didn't know
know what challenge you were doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it has so much interesting thing, because I think that a Resident Evil movie should be a horror film. You need to make it this like close horror film. I loved the idea, because in the first one they kind of they tried doing that in the first one.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's a team, they're stuck underground, and then there's zombies all around them and they can't get out.
But then
that's kind of sick. That's a good idea.
And then it goes like full blown action towards like the end when Alice has her memories. And
She's a
knows-
super soldier.
Yeah, she's like a super soldier, and then that's what happens a lot in. I guess they did the same thing in the second one where it's like a little bit more action, but it still has like that Racoon City like outbreak. We're trying to survive,
Yeah.
and then at the end she takes on the nemesis and stuff, and that's
Like
like a,
by herself. And I always thought that was so interesting, because Nemesis is such a hard boss.
He
Not only
doesn't
that,
die.
yeah, he just doesn't die. Like no matter what you do to him, you can drop that dude like 80 times.
And then he died, but then he became like a shark thing, and you're
Yeah.
like, what?
yeah, and that was like, but that was the thing though, because I remember in 1, like I was actually kind of surprised that the liquor was like the big bad. Like that was like the big boss at the end. When in the first one you had that giant like claw, the giant like claw one with like the really like deformed head. He was like
Yeah.
super tall and everything like that, and he chased you through the mansion.
yeah.
But that was sick though, because it then made you remember the mansion, where you were like, okay, where exactly can I trap him, so that way I can then unload into him. Okay, where's a box? Where's the ammo boxes? Where's this? So it really made you kind of like think, and like the whole like you retracking and going back and forth in the game really taught you all about it and stuff like that. Whereas this one was just like, it's a liquor and you're getting on a train, and then automatically they're like, oh, put him in the Nemesis project, and you're like, oh no.
I am. Good job, Nick. You keep slamming things on the mic.
I'm just happy it was empty.
Yeah, it was empty.
It's.
talking about.
It's. I don't. I think I retweeted this and I shared it on Facebook. Yeah, it's still one of those dinosaurs that use Facebook, but I said like, I'm excited to see how cheesy it is. I really want this to just embrace the kind of like B tier aspect of filmmaking. Like, it's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be, it's not supposed to be like the CGI is supposed to be great or anything. Just embrace it, deal with it, and just tell us a familiar story so we can have fun. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, if this becomes a franchise, I want to see Chris Redfield punch a boulder to move it.
I don't. I mean, I guess because that was the thing though, is that I felt like the games at a certain point started matching the movies.
Yeah.
On ridiculousness.
Yes, definitely.
Where it was like, oh well, like people already know it from the movie that of this like of this like ridiculousness, we can add it into the games now, and then the games so they fueled each other because it was like, oh well, in the games they did it, but then it was like, but the movies did it first, and then the game copied it.
There was a point where it tried to backtrack. If you remember in Resident Evil 5, there was a DLC that explained where Jill Valentine or how she disappeared and how why they like
It's
Chris's.
the mansion mission.
Yeah, that was a good mission because it
it's
brought
really
you
good.
back on
That
the
was pretty
mission.
good.
Yeah, brought you back to the mansion, and then you realize that they find Wesker, and Wesker throws, or doesn't he ends up, or Jill ends up like falling into the ocean with Wesker.
Yeah, she ends up throwing herself off with Wesker.
Yeah.
And then that's why Chris just thinks that Wesker survived and Jill died.
Yeah.
I still laugh at the part when Wesker just throws his glasses and Chris is like catches it.
In the DLC, that was in the DLC, right?
Yeah. And then just like they did that in the movie, but it just didn't look great in the movie.
No, but in the game it was sick because he's like, and then
it was
Wesker's
sick
like
in the
right up
game.
to his face and like, yeah, it's great.
No, I think it was the CGI. Not only that, but also that Wesker kind of looked like a Ken doll. And
that was
hold
Sean
on.
Ashmore
I know,
or
you're
something
right.
like that.
yeah, but he looks like a Ken doll. Like
the
he's
way
not
he
scary.
acts, he's all. It's the way he acts is like, I brought my friends with me. He's like, you should have brought more. He's
Yeah, it's like that's not scary, bro.
I know.
You're not scaring
So
me.
can you look up who produced this? Who's producing and who's distributing it?
yeah.
Because if this movie succeeds and triples its budget, we might get.
You're getting more.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, if it doubles its budget, it won't get
Listen, I'm just happy that Robbie Amell is getting work. All right, that's all I'm happy about.
it. Who's
Ever
the actor
since
that's
Flash.
playing Chris Redfield?
Robbie Amell.
That's Robbie Amell.
Yeah, that's
Robbie
Robbie
Amell.
Amell.
Yeah, he looks like Chris Redfield.
Toby Hopper, the one from Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Number one
he's
is
playing
Al
Wesker.
Wesker, which you know what? I dig that because
He can play a bad guy.
He could
play a
do
bad
it.
Guy.
He could do it.
I want to see.
Are we getting?
But I
are we
want-
getting the trickster Wesker, the one that
But that's
is
what
supposedly?
I want.
Yeah.
But that's what I want. I want a Wesker that's like loyal, because in the first one that was like the hard part. Is
Yeah.
like Wesker was like Wesker was your dude.
He was-
him and
yeah.
him and Barry Burton. Like they were both like your dudes. Like they were like
Barry dies in the
yes.
second one, right?
Third.
He gets bitten, or do you find him bitten?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Anyway,
No, let's just not get into it. We're already hitting an hour 50.
But what was it? But I really enjoyed that because I liked the turn. I liked the idea of like you.
But he
really
doesn't
trust.
turn until he presume Wesker's dead, because Wesker was originally Stars, right?
He's a Stars agent. That's
Yeah.
the reason why.
Then he disappears in the mansion. We don't know where he's at, and then
But he's presumed dead.
exactly.
He's presumed dead, and then that's when you end up meeting. Then you bump it, and then that's when you find him in the bottom layers of like the.
in number 2. No.
No, in one. You meet him in there.
yeah.
He turns on you because he's the thing that releases that monster,
Yeah.
and then he escapes, and then that's when like all the shenanigans happen.
Which is I can't wait. I'm excited. Or you were looking to see who's produced it.
Well, I'm looking at who's directing it, and it's a director, and she's done. I don't know. It's Joanne Roberts, and she did not great sequels to horror movies. They're all B movies, but it fits well for if that's what we're going for Resident Evil. The movies they directed was in 2005, Forest of the Damned, 2012, Storage 24.
Okay.
2016, The Other Side of the Door. 2017, 40 Meters Down. 2018, The Strangers Pray at Night, which is the sequel to The Strangers. And 2019, 40 Meters Down, Uncaged.
I think I actually liked The Strangers.
The second one?
I liked the second one.
The second one
more.
wasn't actually not bad. I actually watched that.
I don't
That
like this. I don't like the first one. The first one's dumb.
Straight
It
up.
was actually.
Can we
the
see who
first one's
produced
pretty
it? We got to wrap up this
Okay,
issue.
so the producer for this is
Brian. It's Brian.
it's like 3 people. There's like it's Brian.
I wish.
That's why
Ja-
Brian. That's why Brian's trying to sell this. Go see my movie.
James Harris, Harley Grutenstern, and Robert Kulser. These are all just like
The company I meant.
the company distribute. Okay, so
It's
it's
the distributor, not the producers.
distributed by Sony. Sony's doing it.
So Sony Productions. That makes sense because I think they're the ones that have the copyright.
Mhm.
So they have to have triple the budget for us to get a sequel.
Mhm.
We excited? Yes.
When is this
Yeah.
supposed to come out? November?
No, soon.
I
I thought I read October.
Is it
But
October?
November's horror month.
November 24th. So
Yeah,
next
okay,
month.
see.
Dope. All right. Any last thoughts?
This was in development since 2017.
Yes, it's been like in development hell for like a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, COVID didn't help out.
Well, yeah, it was supposed to. It was. It began filming in 2020.
Yeah.
Last year.
Any last thoughts?
I just want to see great character moments that are true to the characters, if anything.
I want to see Stephen Amell in the sequel.
Yes.
Chris
I want to see
Redfield.
all these people come back. If they play it well, I don't want any recasting. I want to get used to these actors, and that's it. Move forward.
Okay. Decent. All right.
It's not the first time a CW actor was inside of a Resident Evil movie.
Who else was?
Captain Cold was Chris Redfield.
Okay.
The
All
guy
right.
From
I think it's a
Prison Break. Yeah.
That's a good way. That's a good point to end in this issue.
Prison Break?
Yeah. We're out of time. We can't unless you got something else, Nick. With that said,
So
guys.
in Prison Break, guys, if you guys haven't seen it.
So let me break down Prison Break for you. You gotta make a diagram.
No.
Hurry, end it before we.
All right, guys. So thank you guys for listening to this issue of this podcast. Just a reminder, you can find us on all audio platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Podbean. If you guys listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review on there. We want to let you guys, or we want to know what you guys think of us. You know, what you think of the show and everything. You guys can find the visual portion of the podcast on YouTube, Keeping Up with the Nerds. Go subscribe. We're at 72 subs. We're trying to reach 100. If anything, 125 is our big goal. If you guys like what you guys watched here and are interested in more stuff, subscribe, share with everyone. Again, like Nick said at the beginning of the podcast, share with the grandmas. Grandmas love Nick, apparently, according to him. So there's that. Follow us on our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Everything will be up to date there. We're working on some stuff. Come November, we're going to have some guests coming through.
Hey.
Yes, so it's going to be a month long of guests. I think I've teased it before, but it's official now. We're good to go. We've got some guests lined up for that month. You guys keep an eye on that website because we will be posting some information on our guests that are going to be popping up on there on our website. So, yes, follow us on our socials, Instagram and Twitter. We're more active on Twitter now. Renee's going to be posting anything and everything that we're going to be posting up on our channels on Instagram. So that way you guys are up to date. And again, share our Instagram. We're at 150 right now, I think. 149 in there. So share, guys. With that said, Nick, you want to wrap this up?
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 68. My name is Nick Valero.
This is Bryan.
Rene.
Recording at Undercity Comics in Whittier, California. We want to thank everyone for listening to the issue and hope to see you all next time.